and cable and wireless, a very strange combination about Selassi and cable and wireless, a very strange combination because without people never really I try to figure out what is the link between cable and wireless and Selassi. I was never even know say there was a court case and a lawsuit against cable and wireless. So tonight we want Miguel as a lawyer too, because you know we give thanks to we have Rasta who is lawyer to can go and dig up all these things to present it in a way that we can make the people them hear what took place before us, you know, and what took place. So Miguel, how are you doing, man?
Greetings and blessings. Give thanks, man. The program very, very good, very informative.
Yes.
Yes, I've gained a lot of knowledge since now. Yes.
Yeah.
And I just made couple quick comments regarding the police issue. When you look at the fact that Parliament gave itself 103% increase, how can you tell anybody else that they shouldn't get an increase?
Yeah, when you look at it, that the Prime Ministers and all of the Prime Ministers after this go and get $4 million a year without doing nothing.
Yes.
It really something else.
It look bad.
Yeah.
And then when you consider now Mark Shields' salary, how can you have a member of the force getting a salary far in excess of the commissioner and the head of the force?
Yes.
It look bad. And as
an imported person.
And as a white man.
Yes.
So it look very bad that it's colonialism all over, that you bring in a white man because him now face more bullet than anybody else. So those are principles that make the thing look obviously bad.
Yes. And they hear so our police them corrupt, which them is corrupt, but you can't see why the corruption, you know, keep continuing in night where it continue, you know?
Yes. You know, as you know, at this time, only Rastafari activities taking place. Because by next week and next weekend, you know, there's a Rastafest in Canada. So you're going to have brethren and sistrens from all, Sister Faraika from Washington, Brother Kwasi, Tony Rebel, myself, will be up in Toronto, at York University, at the Orthodox Church. You know, panel discussion and other factors as a Rastafest. You know, you have a conference in South Africa coming up in November, Global Reasoning. Then you have the Caribbean Rastafari Conference coming up in St. Vincent in December, which is being hosted and paid for and sponsored by the St. Vincent government, you know, pioneered by Ralph Gonzalez, who, you know, leading a very important charge at this time. So,
and the sister them having a celebration in March upon Empress Menin's Earth Day in St. Lucia.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I think in March. Yeah.
And as you mentioned, Rastafari lawyer, you have a Rastafari lawyer from Iran who's coming to Jamaica tomorrow.
Yeah.
A brother named Cameron, you know.
From Iran.
Well, him originally from Iran. He's presently now sojourning in Canada. Okay. Dreadlock Rasta.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think he must have come for a few days.
I like hearing views for the Iranian thing, you know, and the American issue.
Yes.
I'm really interested to put him on the continent.
Yes, I don't know if most
of them now be until Wednesday.
No, them man at 2-3 day move again.
Move again,
you know?
Yeah.
But nevertheless, you can tape him, you know, and so on, because it's an interesting era of Iowa.
Yeah.
And so on, you know. Yeah, man. Yes. So, you know, we're dealing with Their Majesty, Selassi, Rastafari, and whenever and I come together, one of the things we are very comfortable with is that the more human we make Their Majesty, is the more realistic.
It is.
And also, we can relate to him even better.
Yes.
Because we're just little ants, you know, but human. And therefore, if the thing too far from us and we know we cannot reach it,
going at illusion.
Definitely. You tend not to even try.
And you start to create other illusions.
You will.
Illusions.
Your fantasies and all of that come into play. But the more realistic you keep him, you know, and the more earthly, then you find that you understand him even more. And when you understand him more now, you heal him even better. Because you have a much freer spirit and a much nearer spirit to him.
Of course.
Because you actually feel that you can touch him shoes.
Yes.
Yes, what I mean. So, one enough to feel that the less mystic means that he's not the all highest, or that he's not the Almighty, but that the Almighty trod earth in the form of I and I, and those were lessons to I and I as to how we should follow his footsteps, follow his examples, and how we should live. Yeah, man.
Yes. So we'll come now to the matter.
Haile Selassie versus Cable and Wireless.
Yes.
All right. Just before now, I just read a little passage from the High Majesty himself. Although this have to do with books, you know, but trying to emphasize books a lot. Ethiopia is, as is well known, has a script whose origin dates back to pre-Christian era and an ancient literary tradition that has passed down to us from generation to generation without interruption. This heritage should be a source of pride and satisfaction to present generation of Ethiopians. However, it is also the responsibility and obligation of this generation to improve and to enrich the quality and magnitude of this literary heritage. Books reading, vital, important.
Yes.
You know. Haile Selassie versus Cable and Wireless. And I want to tell you, I have written Cable and Wireless on this topic, and them doing bad answer my letter, you know. Not surprising. The build-up in 1937, Haile Selassie sued Cable and Wireless. But the build-up now is that whilst in Ethiopia, before the invasion, before Italy invaded Ethiopia, Their Majesty the Ethiopian government paid Cable and Wireless a certain amount of money to carry out certain transmissions between Ethiopia and foreign countries. Sorry if I cough every now and then because I actually have the flu, you know. But them works have triumph over that. So, having paid Cable and Wireless this money now, Cable and Wireless was to do certain works. Mussolini and his pirates and murderers invaded Ethiopia. As a result of the invasion, the work was not completed. So the both sides agree that, look, the work don't complete. So whilst Their Majesty was in England, Their Majesty asked Cable and Wireless back for the money. He said, look, we give you a certain amount of money, the work don't finish, so give you back a portion of the money. You do some of the work, but that portion where you don't do, give me back the money.
Yeah.
All right. The amount, you know, was 10,613 pounds, 11 shillings and 2pence. When Their Majesty asked Cable and Wireless this money now, Cable and Wireless said, no, you are not entitled to this money. Reason being that you gave us this money as head of Ethiopia. You are no longer the head of Ethiopia.
That was when he was in exile.
That is when he was in exile in England.
Yes, yes.
So Their Majesty know how to carry the matter to court. Him sue Cable and Wireless for the money. You know, Cable and Wireless lawyers did know, they notified Italy that, look, Their Majesty bring the matter to court. So therefore, you now come into the picture. So Italy now sent lawyers to the case as a third party, asking that the money be sent to Italy, because Italy was now in control of Ethiopia.
Mussolini is now the emperor.
Yes.
Of
Ethiopia. All right. At first instance, now, this was in 1937, His Imperial Majesty brought this case against Cable and Wireless.
We want to tell the people them that Mussolini occupied Ethiopia for 5 years.
It wasn't really 5. He was there for, in reality, it's about 3.
Yeah.
And he never really conquered it.
No, occupy.
Yes.
Occupy.
Yes,
But
yes.
And Haile Selassie was in England.
Yes.
All right. So we are talking through.
Because it's just like Afghanistan now.
Yeah.
Where man them say them capture it.
Yeah.
And yet, if you travel from Kingston to Spanish Town, 20 miles, you have to have the biggest bodyguard in the world.
Forgot it so.
Yeah. And the man might grow puppy like trouble.
Biggest opium.
Yes.
All right. So we just want the people them, the younger ones them who don't know what did that take place at the time, why this Haile Selassie Italy thing was taking place. It was taking place because of this war.
Yes.
That Mussolini invaded Ethiopia.
Mussolini invaded Ethiopia.
Yes.
We must understand now that between the Battle of Adwa the Battle of Adowa, when the Ethiopians defeated the Italians.
Under Menelik, which was the other emperor.
Under Menelik and Queen Taitu. Who you know was a serious gun
She
woman.
was the one who get back Ethiopia.
Yes, because she control a hill with fair portion of the army.
20,000 troops.
Yes. And them the dogs if they never fired a gun.
Yes.
You understand? But even before the Battle of Adowa, there were 11 wars between Italy and Ethiopia, and all of which the Ethiopians won. So it culminated in Adowa now.
Yes.
And then now, so ever since then, Italy cherished revenge.
Yes.
They taught their children in schools, in the equivalent of primary schools and prep school, they taught their children revenge.
Yes.
Revenge
Against
for Adowa,
Ethiopia.
against Ethiopia.
I must also remember too that Italy was one of the only European countries that never get a piece of Africa.
Right. At the Berlin Conference in 1888, when the European powers, Germany got Namibia,
England,
Tanzania,
Belgium,
France, England, Belgium, a little country like Belgium got the Congo, Spain, Portugal, Spain got Western Sahara and so on. Portugal got Mozambique.
Germany get piece of Cameroon. And
up by Rwanda and that made it too. So the guys they meet at the Berlin Conference and cheer up Africa. So Italy now, as a fresh foot to this thing, was vexed.
Yes.
So we never had a plea.
We never get nothing.
We don't get nothing. So all along they had that ambition that not only do we come late, but we want the prize.
Yes.
And the prize is Ethiopia. That because Ethiopia and Libya were never captured.
Yes.
So they wanted the prize now to say, well, we jumped to the head of the ladder. Plus the Pope, who must overstand history now, we know that the head of the Catholic Church.
Yes. Pope Pius.
Definitely. He wanted the #1 prize. Because it would have boiled down now to a religious war.
Yes.
That the red, white, and blue has now captured the red, gold, and green. There was the papacy of, because I don't know if a lot of one know that the actual head of the Ethiopian church is called a pope too, you know.
Of course.
Yes.
The Abuna is a pope.
It's called a pope. It's a title.
Ethiopian pope.
Definitely. And it's a African title. Yes. So they wanted now that they should have the supremacy in the papacy. And consequently, the Pope, all of these missions were blessed by the Pope. Physically.
Well, I have seen pictures, moving pictures, with the Pope standing up over the bombs and blessing them in the square, in the Roman square.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the pictures of the popes. I think it's Pope Pius.
Yes, the 11th.
Pope Pius the 11th.
Yes. Yeah, man.
He was blessing you know, today them find some papers from him where eating out against Hitler and Mussolini.
Okay.
Yeah, them find some letters in the Vatican that Pope Pius the 11th was eating out against Mussolini and Hitler. But I have seen pictures.
Yes.
With him blessing the bombs them.
Yes.
Blessing the ammunition them to go off in a Ethiopia for bomb the people them.
And this was why now, when His Majesty went on the field and him put him foot on the bomb and called the photographers now.
To
show them now. So him put him hand and bless it and I trample it on the field. So we have to understand symbolism is vital here, you know.
Him want to show the man them say them claim say them never did use these kind of bombs, you know.
Yes.
And him show them all the serial number them on the bomb.
Yes.
This unexploded bomb, him show them say, look here. Take my picture.
Yes.
Make me show the whole world. Say them go against the laws where them to set up. Like how Israel now cluster bomb up the whole right near them now. Them find 1,000 cluster bomb drop in Lebanon.
Yes.
It was an illegal thing.
Which is, you know.
And it's America give them it.
Yes. And also, you know, National Geographic, the photographer who took that photograph, wrote an article on it, you know, how couldn't take it, you know. Because him said when the Majesty went up to the bomb, you know, can remember this is a real bomb, you know. So the entourage that was walking with him stopped.
Yes.
So when him called them now, most photographers never want to come. this photographer now, remember them days there, you know, where you set up this cloth business, and you put your head underneath it, and go pop. Him say, remember I put your head underneath it.
I might be about to explain the time,
So him set up the camera still, you know, and then him run back. So he never know how the picture was going to come out, you know.
Yes.
It's later on, and him say picture come out good now, him say, boy, I don't even know what to say. But
then exploded back.
Definitely. So that's very, very important, that invasion now, which they use different pretexts, but the root of it was to take revenge for Adawa and also to get a piece of Africa.
Yeah.
Now, but the big want all listeners know that we're not diverting from the Haile Selassie.
No, we're not divert from it.
But the build up towards the case was this. In 1926, Italy and England met. And they agreed that they are going to, Italy going to build a railway through Ethiopia, and Britain is going to take control of most of Lake Tsana. That's that. These are two countries met, don't consult the people of Ethiopia and make plans to divide up Ethiopia, 1926. So when their Majesty here now and bring it to the League of Nations, him say, imagine that, two powers meet and decide how
my land I go
divide up. So that gets exposed. And embarrassment and all of that. This is 1926, All right. Later on now, when their Majesty was in exile in England, you had two brothers, and I want our listeners never to forget this, what we call the Hoare-Lavelle Pact. Samuel Hoare was the foreign minister for England, and Walter Lavelle was the prime minister of France. Now them two guys are meet, and agree, sign agreement, everything, that them going to secede a substantial part of Ethiopia to Mussolini, as a way of appeasing him and cool him down, that him can cool down for some of him exploits in Europe. Right. So them meet now, the whole Lavelle Pact, and decided that they are going to give more than 3/4 of Ethiopia
to Mussolini
and leave His Majesty with about a quarter and a little piece of Ethiopia. Again, when their Majesty here, their Majesty come out and say, wait, what kind of thing that, what high class disrespect? So I want our listeners to understand, you say Britain is a treacherous country, It pretend. You understand? It always underhand and all them weird.
We can't see that in the slavery. In the
yes.
Days, we can't see how they move the slavery thing. And,
yes.
Them
so right through. Because even when their Majesty later on, when they overthrew Italy, and so, Britain had in mind to put back Lijasu on the throne, Not Haile Selassie, And I mean, we find documents and papers to back up this. So, the build-up now, 1926, the whole Lavelle Pact, all these things. And Mussolini go here now, say, Their Majesty never have no money. Them spread all sort of rumor how him leave Ethiopia with chests of gold and holy Solomon jewelry and all them things there. But the little him leave Ethiopia with after 6 months that done. Plus he was responsible for the patriots that were in exile. Those that was in Jerusalem, those in other parts and so the little money done very quickly. So he needed a little amount of money he can get. So that was why he needed this 10,613 pounds 11 shillings and twopence.
That means in those days it was enough money.
Whole heap of money that man. Whole heap of money in 1937. Whole heap of money. I mean that is enough money even now, 10,000 pounds is a whole heap of money. I don't know, you convert it to Jamaican currency. So picture, 70 odd years ago. Now, so they know that Mussolini then made offers to His Imperial Majesty. First him offer him $1 million guineas and say him can get a palace anywhere he want in the world. Him will make sure him get that palace and him live happily ever after. Him and him family and those who him want to carry him going to exile. Him get $1 million guineas and anything more him want, he may get it, but him just take him and half of Ethiopia. Of course, their Majesty run him and said, none of Ethiopia's blood will ever stain with not even 1 guinea, much less your million. So run him. All right? But the plight was rough. The struggle was rough because the Patriots needed arms and they might try to get the arms, and even arms when they pay for, Britain refused to give him the whole. You know the strategy now. Them got the League of Nations. The League of Nations said neither side must get any arms. So place like France, another place where Her Majesty had paid for the arms before. Because them say no, the League of Nations say we must give neither side any arms. But Italy make arms.
Yes. Them is one of the superpowers.
They make arms. So if you say you're not giving neither side, and they make, you're depriving I, and it was paid for again, you know. Because people must understand, even until this day, you know, Ethiopia is a very proud nation, you know. No matter what you see them go through, you know, they always have a plus balance of payment, you know. Even until this day, always have a plus balance up. So anything them order, anything them buy, them pay for it. So I'm already pay for the arms and never get it. So I'm needed this money now to buy some other things and so on. Cable and Wireless refuse. And Cable and Wireless now notified the lawyers for Italy, and they came into the case as a third party and said, look, we are claiming this money. In 1937, when the matter first came before the courts in England, the judge now, this was the position. At that time, England recognized Emperor Haile Selassie as the de jure head of Ethiopia. In international law, you have two aspects of recognition. You have the de jure recognition and you have the de facto recognition. Now, these are some Latin words and so on, but make over it now. De facto is that you are in fact in control of the country. So they were saying now that Italy in 1937 is in control of Ethiopia. So therefore Italy de facto is in control of Ethiopia. But the British at that time recognized Haile Selassie as the de jure. In other words, by law, he is the head of state of Ethiopia. Not because him do have the arms to implement it, but him is the head of state. So at that time now, they decided that them not going to give Mussolini the money. The Iovas. But them don't so them going to give His Majesty either. The judge said, yeah, what we're going to do, we're going to stay proceedings. Stay proceedings means I put it on hold now. Let us stay proceedings and watch the outcome of this thing, because, you know, this thing is really big international law and we don't want to give either side the money and really. Good. So, there was an appeal. The appeal was due to come up in 1938. The appeal was due to come up on the 2nd of November, 1938. It's the significance of them days. These things are
November was the day when Selassie was crowned.
Yes, in 1930.
Yes.
All right. Britain now, the government at the time, went to Parliament on the 1st of November. And in Parliament now, they made it clear that they are now going to recognize the Mussolini government as not only de facto head of in control of Ethiopia, but also de jure in law now.
So they might totally get out Haile Selassie.
They might push out Haile, I know. In other words, him no status now, neither de jure nor de facto head of Ethiopia. And therefore now, if the Parliament recognize Mussolini government as the de jure and de facto head of Ethiopia, then that means that Haile Selassie not entitled to the money. But you hear the further treachery now. This is where sure that Cable and Wireless was behind the scenes doing all of this. Because one of the issue of the case was whether or not Haile Selassie had the right to sue. They are over now.
Yes.
So here what them doing at the Parliament now, them not only recognize Mussolini the government as the de jure and de facto head of it, but they made it retroactive. The Iovas now make it retroactive. You go behind time, you know. And they made it retroactive that it went before the lawsuit was filed.
And this was meanwhile them a bomb up Ethiopia.
This is why bomber go on and all them things. They say people don't understand in war, you know. Whilst bomber fly and all them things, they have the legalities and
man attack on the corner.
Definitely, whole heap of paperwork because man have to justify bombing.
Yes.
Don't think him just bomb someone. Him want for record history. That history record him that it was right in the bombing.
Yeah. And now this is 3 years into the bombing we attack.
Definitely 37, 30 years.
Yes,
so while the patriots them fight hard, Haile Selassie have back to fight hard too, you know.
Yes.
On the diplomatic and the diplomatic scene to preserve the integrity of Ethiopia. So not only you made Mussolini government, and them time the mother king in Italy, you know, King Emmanuel.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So they made him now, Emmanuel, the head of Ethiopia, and consequently, he was now entitled to this money. Yes. And therefore, and like I said, the effect of making it retroactive now was that you technically now is saying to Haile Selassie, you do not even have a right to sue for your own money.
Because not fee money now.
No, because you made it retroactive. That's what the British Parliament did. They made it retroactive to deprive him, so that they were saying then that he did not even have any standing to sue for the money, even at that stage. So at the appeal stage, they had to concede because Parliament lick out all power out of them, and so on and so forth.
All right. So we are saying now England come the 1st of November.
Yes. Go to Parliament.
Yeah, declare
Mussolini.
King Emmanuel.
Yes.
The head of Ethiopia.
The head of Ethiopia.
And now, making now Haile Selassie claim to this money null and void.
Null and void.
All right. So what Cable and Wireless, in that, did Cable and Wireless give King Emmanuel the money?
The money went to Italy, yes.
The money went to Italy?
Yes.
So Haile Selassie lose the case?
Yes. And here we know, you see them even now. You see when you lose the case, you have to pay costs.
Yes. So Haile Selassie appeal the case?
You had appeal the case, and them never have no standing at the appeal because the Parliament lick out the standing. Yeah, over. And he had to pay a lot of costs now. The cost was almost as high as the 10,000.
And this was when he was in exile now?
In England.
Yes.
Very hard. I did very hard when he was at Bath and all of that. Even
I guess this is why them will have movie parts and all them things. If you say never take it.
And offer him millions of dollars for his memoirs and all them things. But you know, a dignified couldn't take them things disrespect and all of that. Because the money situation was firm. And you know, we really want brothers and sisters to over that, because many times me hear all Bob and Peter and them man there, my father is the richest man on earth. And my father have all the gold and all. You know what I mean? Yeah, I hear it. All right. Yes. But again, we don't want to keep the thing
in an illusion.
Definitely. We want to keep the thing in reality.
All right. So I'm going to ask you something now.
Yes.
So Mussolini, you know, them declare Italy part Ethiopia part of Italy. Mussolini, you know, take over.
Yes.
Haile Selassie in England and thing, you know. Cable and Wireless gave Italian the money.
Yes.
I start to lose the case now. So
I had to pay a lot of legal costs.
Haile Selassie?
Yes.
All right. So no, it come back round.
So not only you lose the money, but you have to pay up on top of it.
Yeah, but now 5 years after now, Haile Selassie come back to Ethiopia.
Yes.
How that play up back now in the whole thing? I never mention again.
No, it never come up again.
It never come up again.
It here will come up now. Haile Selassie upon the throne now. The Ethiopian government start to claim reparations for the atrocities done to Ethiopia
by the
Italians.
So England never know in the de facto and all the things that was claimed to be in the position of the king of Italy now.
Them switch now. Italy switched 5 years later. I mean England switched 5 years later.
And it never come up back. The cable and wires never come up back.
Never come up back. Never come up back. So we have to bring it up back now. Bring it up back now. That's why I'm right. Radley Davis, the head of Cable and Wireless out here. But he might dodge it out. But we're not going to ease up.
Alright, we want to get something clear. We want to get something, not clear, but we want to
in perspective.
Yeah, put the thing in the perspective now. Them declare Haile Selassie, we could say null and void.
Yes.
And declare Italy the de facto, as you say.
The jury and de facto.
And give them the money.
Yes.
So, Haile Selassie now come back now.
Yes.
And go back on the throne.
Yes.
And declare forward himself. And
yes.
the people them declare him again.
Yes.
And the world now declare him.
But the case is done decide already. Because they are saying at that time of the lawsuit.
The case done.
Done. The case
so
done.
Him can't come back again.
No.
To come declare, say, see me the king again, give me back my money.
Yes. So it never come up again. It never come up again.
So them owe with $10,000.
At £10,000 plus interest.
They owe with $10,000
yes.
because we come back. We don't come back, man.
Yeah, man, we're there now.
Yeah, we'll come back on the throne.
Yes.
And we are declaring now, say, it was an illegal occupation.
Totally.
Total illegal occupation. But and the whole world set up and watch it happen.
Yes. And this is again where international law is concerned. That here it is that an illegal occupation, an illegal invasion, but nevertheless it was recognized by at that time the superpowers of the world.
Yes.
Because France, England, and all of them recognize.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Conspire.
So,
yeah.
in other words, it's just coming like enough of the wars and we see now were illegal.
Yeah.
But.
Because the big powers them
definitely you
recognize. This is the Cutting Edge on RFM coming. This is the Cutting Edge on RFM there with you. Yeah. Remember that tune, yeah?
Land our forefathers dreamt of, we will never, never forsake you. Though the mothers sigh, and the children die, and the fathers are confused, there's no rain from the sky. There is hope, never give up. There is hope, never give up. We are coming home. We are coming home.
We're coming home.
We are coming home.
Africa is our home.
We are coming home.
We're coming home.
Oh, Soweto, those are plains are the
Double up your feet and always be strong. Oh God, we'll never forsake us. Let us unite and come together.
You know, when Ethiopia was going through the whole heap of famine and thing, a group of artists come together and make this tune, yeah. If it was even before the American artists, them did make We Are the World. I don't know if you remember that tune, We Are the World, where Michael Jackson did come together with Stevie Wonder and all these artists. But we as artists did come together. And we did even that dapper. Remember, Miguel? We did that dapper youth.
Yes, many youths.
Yeah, we did that many youths from Ethiopia.
And we had formed a company too.
Yes.
I had registered a company
yeah,
on behalf of the group.
And we'd have sent money to them, man.
Yeah, man, we were for years.
Yeah, so we want the people them know, said this was a song where it start out the whole...
Yeah, man, Ras Record, they distributed too.
Yes.
And the money now was sent straight to Ethiopia.
Yes.
And what we had was that we had a group of children. We got the pictures of the children,
yes,
the age of the children,
yes.
everything.
Yes.
That as a result of this song was taken care of in Ethiopia.
Haile Selassie being in England, and it's the English system do all these things against Ethiopia. Or we put together now the idea that the British Army help now to get forward Ethiopia from Mussolini.
Because Mussolini was not sticking to the script.
Okay, and Mussolini now did that side with Hitler.
Yes. And Mussolini now had ambition to capture England and France
that
and all
like
country
Bin Laden
now.
Yeah. That's no I'm saying Bin Laden, I mean like you remember say America was arming Bin Laden for fight against Russia, you know.
Oh yes.
And you know my daughter last night, my elder daughter, my daughter was something. She asked me if you remember seeing the Rambo 3 And in Rambo 3, she said, we must look on the writing when the movie are done, where them thank the Taliban in Afghanistan for the parts of the movie.
Okay.
The certain resemblance.
Oh, yes. Especially part of them capture some Russian tanks and all.
Yeah,
them
put on the acknowledgements.
Yes.
The Taliban and them even there. So, anyway, what I say is that, you remember, say America was arming the Afghanistans, which include
Taliban.
Which include bin Laden.
Yes.
Because at that time, they was fighting against Russia.
Yes.
And it was in their interest that Russia came out of Afghanistan. And now we see that the bin Laden did actually chase out the Russians.
Yes.
That is why bin Laden feel them can chase out
The
America. Because that was his strength. And that was the, him have a precedence where him say, well, if we can't do it to Russia, America is a joke.
Yes. All in invaders.
Yes, so we are saying, oh, this Mussolini guy,
Yes.
even though the whole of them side against
Highly.
Mussolini now, as you say, never stick to the script. Him start to side with the one that for them enemy.
Yes. The
So
Nazis know.
Yeah, they forgot now, say, no, it can't work.
So the fascist Nazi axis.
Yes.
The Europe said, no, this I get out of hand, you know.
So they forgot go now.
Yes.
Forgot get out but Mussolini now.
Definitely. They never mind when they drop the Iparite gas.
Oh gosh, man.
The gas, you know.
Pies and everything.
Yeah, man. They never mind when they drop it on black people, you know. But it's when them sisters know them have plans for annex Europe now.
Yes.
In other words, in taste blood now, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, over so.
And we must tell the people them that Haile Selassie did tell them at the League of Nations that this was a possibility.
Yes. Instead of match you strike in Ethiopia,
it shall burn
in Europe.
Yes.
But them take it like you.
It's not Rastata, you know. One of the people them know it's not Rastata, you know. This is history.
Yes. Documented.
Haile Selassie said in the United Nations, you have struck the match in Ethiopia and it is going to burn Europe. This is how come the Second World War started, you know. And Mussolini side with Hitler. And who now they're going to declare now, say, why this fascist thing now, they're going to declare the whole of Europe now and take over the whole of Europe. And England couldn't stand up and see that happen.
No.
So they have to go now, go forward in Africa now.
Yes.
And say, well, right now, we are going to help us now, reclaim forward them throne.
Definitely, because they knew what Ethiopia meant to Mussolini.
Yes.
So you had to get to him belly now. If you defeated him there in Africa, then gradually now you could break the back of him in Europe.
Yes, yes.
So that was why. So it had nothing to do with love.
No. It's politics and power.
And strategy of war.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
This is the Continent and IRFM. We're talking about Ethiopia and Iceland. Yes. Yes. Speak it upon the ear. All right, the upon the ear. Outside that. All right, we can knock that off. Yes, as we said, we're talking about this aspect of history that most ones out there might not have heard before, and we know a whole heap of young ones out there who are declared as Selassie, but through them just getting from the Bible part, we want to show you a living, practical Haile Selassie.
Naturality. And what you mentioned earlier on about them coups there, the man on the plane.
All right, you remember Asfa was in coup from the Brazil move?
Yeah, man, them guy in Brazil.
Yeah, and them had tried to take over the country.
Yes.
And then Haile Selassie come, him never ever trouble them.
Well, him tell Asfa was saying it would have been better if I'd seen your grave.
Yes.
Than this treachery where you carry out.
Yes. And
from then on, Asfa could even smell the throne again.
Man, they're terrible. And you know what the one on the plane?
Well, I never know the details till you mention it tonight.
Yes, well,
I hear something go on the plane, but you tell me the man actually take out the gun.
Yes, it's him relative, you know.
Yes, but I know if they had surrounded because they expected to say Haile Selassie come off the plane and a gun point. Because there were others on the plane who should have joined in.
Yeah.
But I never know him actually take out the gun.
Yeah, him sit down behind Haile Selassie, man. Him sit down behind Haile Selassie. But it's that thing where We need to know these things.
Yes, and when they saw Haile I come off of the plane in his triumphal, empirical manner now.
Yeah. Everybody does go back to them shell.
man.
Go back to the command.
But there are other cases, you know, and at a later time I'm going to come on the year and we're going, because there was an important case where Haile Selassie I brought before the International Court of Justice regarding Namibia. Because at the time when Namibia was under German, South African rule and all of that, Their Majesty brought it before the International Court. And they ruled 8-7 against him.
Yes.
When he said that the Namibian people had a right to be free.
Yeah, yes.
So I want the ones them know that Haile, when it come on to these international cases, intrigues, diplomatic battles, he was at the forefront of the liberation of Africa.
And also the arming of South Africans and the Zimbabwe.
In the liberation struggle.
When near Mugabe, the same Mugabe brother was
training. Training.
Yes, and Mandela.
Educating, yes.
At the time about Mandela, we have an article. Samantha Gal? Yes, Samantha. We want to give thanks to Samantha, you know, our new producer here.
Yes, she's very active.
She's very active, I tell you why, she's very active.
Because she called me, you know.
Yes.
And said, and every day after that she called me, you know. And 2 times a day, you know. So since night when I drive come, about 5 times she called me. Where you reaching now, Ras Miguel? You alright?
She just give me this article that Mandela to get the Conscience Award anti-apartheid icon. Nelson Mandela is to be awarded Amnesty International's highest honor. The former South African president is to receive the Ambassador of Conscience Award in recognition of his work in the cause of freedom and justice. More than any other living person, Mr. Mandela symbolizes all that is hopeful and idealistic in public life, said Amnesty spokesman Bill Shipsey. Now, the reason why we are pointing to this article here now, to connect it now with this, that Haile Selassie was part of the organizing force that helped the ANC.
Oh yes, gave him a passport.
Yes.
Mandela traveled to England on an Ethiopian passport.
I think when I named them
Motsamaya.
Yes. Haile Selassie named him.
Yes, and give him a passport.
See, you didn't know that too? Yes, Haile Selassie play a great part in the liberation of South Africa.
All of them.
That is why Rastafari take up the mantle of apartheid so powerful, you know.
Yes.
In recognition of that Haile Selassie movement towards this anti-apartheid movement, Rastafari used the music. Rastafari used the ammunitions and guns in South Africa, arming the ANC, arming the ones in Zimbabwe. And I use the word sound for effect change.
Fantastic. And until this day, they are very grateful.
Yes.
But all of those liberation movements, the PAIGC in Guinea-Bissau,
yes,
that was a fantastic struggle, you know. That a country, Guinea-Bissau, with a population of less than 500,000, was able to defeat Portugal, that had a population of over 10 million, you know.
Yes.
That is one of the greatest victories in history, you know.
Yes, yes.
Not even the Vietnam over America don't reach that level, you know. Led by the Cabral, the brothers, Amilcar Cabral and company. That is one of the greatest victory. All of these organizations, MPLA,
yes, supported by Haile Selassie.
Haile Selassie provided them with logistics, provided them with money, that they attended school in Ethiopia, the university and all of that.
Yeah.
So,
Mugabe.
yes.
Yeah. No, all right, the reason why I even bring up this is to say that there's always this argument about Haile Selassie not staying and fighting in Ethiopia, that Haile Selassie is a coward and even Marcus Garvey declared that against Haile Selassie. Marcus Garvey declared about Haile Selassie run 11 people the man in there. Yet still, these kind of reasoning and these information here show that sometimes it's not necessarily a gun battle that the fight is being fought, but sometimes it's diplomatic things that is happening that create the balance
most definitely
between the battle and the field. You know, them say the pen is mightier than the sword.
And people must over us. If the Americans go to the moon, what's the first thing you see them plant? A flag.
Flag, yeah.
Any battle or any war, you remember when the tanks were moving into Baghdad? What you saw and they fly on the tanks, the American
flag. Yes.
People must understand, a flag is an important symbol of sovereignty in international law.
Yes.
It's just kind of like a fence. A fence is not a boundary, you know. A fence is a demarcation of where your line stop and where my own stop. Definitely. So people must know that Haile Selassie went to England because England then was like the diplomatic capital of the world.
Yes, like America is the UN now.
Right.
Everybody got UN in America. Yeah.
So, and a lot of people know that he was carrying out these battles now. For example, Bank of Ethiopia trying to get back funds.
Yes.
Because he needed the money to assist the patriots to continue the battles. So, you know, it's absolutely important that ones and ones.
We must have to realize that. You know, it's like when I did just come a Rasta and man used to say, well, it's just a killing brother to get thrown. And for years, I hear that until you go read up and realize that, but I just never had a brother for keep to get thrown. The brother dead from about a little pick there and drowned and all them. Say, oh, them get that. Where them get that from? And then you realize, but it's legion, you have to them attack who never did kill the that.
No.
You know, so it's like, which part of the story they come from? Say, I have to kill him, brother, forget thrown. Where them get that story they from?
Just coming like with regard to the gold. And the Swiss bank.
Gold.
Yes.
But the richest man in the world.
And him send these only per gold to Switzerland.
Yes.
And as it turned out, there was a Swiss, the owner for a hotel in Switzerland where he stayed.
Yes.
And that man had a penchant, a love for Ethiopian coffee. So their Majesty always send him sacks of Ethiopian coffee. But of course it now changed with the world news now. That it was sacks of gold that was being sent.
You know,
and then when the truth discover, unfortunately the truth don't follow the lie and counteract it. In other words, the truth don't get the headlines and
the lie get the biggest part.
Definitely.
The truth got the back of the paper.
The truth haven't published.
I've been to a house in Switzerland that Haile Selassie stayed. Yeah, woman carry me go to the house there. Haile Selassie used to stay in Switzerland. He used to live there. When I say live there, I mean him stay there and time him go to Europe and thing. The woman carry go to the house.
Because Mama must make the people know Switzerland now, Geneva.
Yes.
Was like the international center.
Yes.
Of world.
That was the League of Nations.
The headquarters.
League of Nations.
Right.
Equivalent
to the
UN
in New York. So that's the importance of why he had to have
it was part of the whole thing.
Definitely.
It was one of the countries them that signed this pact with other nations. And say, what must I do? Go back and tell my defenseless people. Because here is a these big countries and this little country I know. Oh, no could I do that and stand up there and watch this happen? And nobody not say nothing.
Like and the other day.
And you know the sweetest part of these things is that these things depend. You can see these things on video, you know.
Yes.
You can actually see.
All of them record.
And see when the man them a jeer him.
Yes.
In the place, you know, and knock the school, the man a make
try
nice.
Disturb him and
these things is actually on DVD and video.
Yes.
It's not like we just attack it like, oh man, read Bible and say, oh, you know, so that I go so. You know, it's like these things
exist
in front away, you know, you can see it, you know. And even Mussolini, after all of that, Mussolini was hung by his foot in the square.
The CM square?
Yes.
And that the fan film too?
That way I say we see it.
Yes.
Because we see when the woman them did that take off all of them rings.
The married ring and all of that.
Smelt it, for support the war.
The war against Ethiopia.
And then now we actually see.
And that make me wonder too, you know. Because I say, them never know, say, when them do them things, them never know, say, Father will provide brains like I and I now can analyze them things, you know.
Yes.
Because the way Mussolini and Italy make it look like it was an easy victory.
Yes.
But if you reach a stage where you have to ask the people to take off them gold ring.
Yes. To smelt it.
To support the war.
Yes.
It couldn't be an easy victory.
No.
Man take out all them gold teeth.
Of course.
They fan filming on.
Yeah,
take knife and dig out them gold teeth and throw another thing for smelt it.
Yeah.
So out of an easy victory and you needed all those wealth to maintain your armies throughout Africa. So sometimes we can analyze the history in reverse.
You know, it hurt me sometimes because I get so much call on a radio program and people cuss me and talk as that thing, that this I had that and
well remember, a man's statue is not measured by the friends he have, you know,
Yes.
but by the amount of enemies.
Him have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
No,
German
but why we
stuff.
are saying it today is that there's a whole heap of ones out there who say them is Rasta and even sometimes sympathize with Rasta, that them need to hear what we are talking about now in order to move the thing from out of the realms of superstition and supernatural to natural. Because these historical things that we say now, I am assuring you that even, we can talk about even the DJ them, enough DJ right now where Rastafari, you know, sing about Rastafari, very eloquent and thing that it would help them if they would have even read the autobiography of Haile Selassie.
Volumes 1 and 2, yeah.
And even the selected speeches of Haile Selassie.
Oh, it will make a difference to them life.
Yes, because it need to step up on a next level, you know,
Yes.
Miguel. It too religious. We see it again too, you know, it's like,
And it's too mundane.
we hear a brethren last night from when name the program, and everything what the brethren say, you know, it's Bible, you know. It's like historically, there's nothing historically of Ethiopia that
Yes.
is mentioned.
Yes.
All is mentioned is that in Isaiah, this in Jeremiah, this in this and this. And yes, but wait. You mean say Haile Selassie is not more than that to I and I, that we is historically autobiography of Haile Selassie, volume 1 and 2, selected speeches, I mean utterances, all of these things is written, and it's written by and spoken by Haile Selassie. It's not something where you can
Second hand.
you believe, you know.
Yes. It's first hand.
Yeah, it's not like you believe them. They say that you figure from that.
You have it.
Yeah, it's something where
And it's most a reason why he deliberately give it to us, you know.
that him even say
Yeah.
any part is the only man I see have a book and say any part of this book
Can be
can be
reproduced.
reproduced without
Any
the
copyright
authority of the
author.
writer.
Yes. It freely given.
Eh? Can you imagine that, Rasta?
Yes.
A man have a book, and then at the back of the book him say, any person who want to copy this book here. It's like a man make a DVD or a video and say, what or not, you want to copy, just copy it. You know?
Yes.
And just make it popular out there for
Yes.
the people them hear it. And we are saying now, oh, we hear all of these talk about the Bible and Isaiah and Jeremiah and Ezekiel and Matthew, Mark, Luke. And we can't hear the man them go into some serious reasoning
Not even Leonard Howell.
about Haile Selassie Rasta,
Yes.
which is in your deal, you know. It's not no mysticism we are talking about, you know, no mystical this and that and that, you know. It's a real man. Because people say, well, Haile Selassie a man, him can't be God. He must a man like me and you. That is the greatness about Rastafari. Yeah. That is a man like me and you, and we see the divinity in the man.
Natural.
You know, see,
That's
it is the
beauty.
greatest thing.
Yes.
How can you to see the divine? That's why even in the Egyptian book of the day, they say to see the good in things, you have to see the God in things.
Yes.
You know, see it? And it is the greatest concept that you can look upon somebody like you and see the divine in that person.
Yes.
What a great thinking, Rasta.
Fantastic. And as you mentioned that, you know, one of the time I must come, there was a brilliant article written by Malakou Bain. Malakou Bain was the
Yes.
founder of
Yes.
the Ethiopian World Federation,
Yes.
sent by His Imperial Majesty to set up that. And in that article, and it's very good that we faced that article, Malakou Bain says, and he answered Garvey, he answered the Honorable Marcus Garvey in a profound way. He dealt with every point that Garvey had raised. And he concluded, is the Honorable Marcus Garvey true to himself? Alright, take one of the issues, the issue of them accuse their majesty saying never have enough black people around him, that him come abroad and him get white teachers and all them things. Malakou Bain pointed out that what the black teachers were charging in some instances was 10 times as much as the whites were charging. And that the conditions that some of the blacks wanted, Ethiopia could not meet it.
Couldn't afford it.
And him go down the line and show you. Malakou Bain cited himself. Him say, you all talk about their majesty not advancing black people. Look at me. In other words, Malakou Bain was an Oromo.
Yes.
Poor little youth.
But
And
look at me.
you understand?
Look at me.
And their majesty one day call him and send him go study medicine.
Yes.
Send him to India first.
But most of them who did rise up against Haile Selassie in the 70s. No, Haile Selassie got trained them and they
Send them
back
to school and all of that.
Yes. This is the Culture Nation RFM, yes.
Yes, greetings, Brother Musa.
Blessed man.
Yeah, man, Rastafari love. I'm on his Ras Wayne calling from Baltimore. Ras Miguel did make a link with I to say he was on the program.
All right.
And I just want to tell us Black and One.
So you listen, right?
Yeah, man, I'm on online listening.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
Selassie.
Yeah, man, and we just want to say to the people them now, Wayne Rose and George Rose, they have a law firm in Baltimore, which is like the twin law firm to Miguel Law Law Office. So it's just like how certain things, we have our international aspect too.
Yes.
So any matters on certain levels,
Yes.
we refer now,
to
like immigration and all of that,
Yes.
we refer to the Rose Law Firm in Baltimore.
That sounds good.
Yes.
Yes, Bridget.
Yes.
You done?
Alright?
No, go ahead, no, Raswell.
Yeah, man, greetings. I man never know today.
No, we are telling you to talk, man.
Yes.
Yes, because as there I know, I'm on, did repatriate fully, but I touched base again just to link my family and thing in Baltimore. So just wanted to kind of just make a brief link with the item and
Yeah, man,
report
give
the
thanks.
cause of information.
Is we are going to Baltimore, they do.
Well, it's just the same type of things that are going internationally. We also, I observe the thing we are going internationally and pray that the Almighty, through His divine will, allow for the salvation of man, because man already, the gauntlet already passed,
Yeah, but we see them shift up a whole heap of things in Baltimore, especially Baltimore, where we know there's a whole heap of black people down there. It's like when they do Harlem. It's like
you can look at it on several levels, because Baltimore is a progressive town in some ways, but have one of the highest
crime
drug
rate.
use amongst black people. You
Yeah.
find a lot of junkies and heroin addicts.
Well, I tell you.
It's
But I noticed that,
yeah.
for instance, now, you remember Harlem was like the center of black culture in America. Now, the building them are get renovated. White people are moving to Harlem. First, I wouldn't say white people are walking up and down by 125th Street. Now we say white people walking up and down by 125th Street. I hear say Clinton have him office down there.
Yes, it's
and enough
true.
things. It come like the same thing them do with Baltimore and move all the black people.
They
Them.
call it regentrification. In fact, most of the money used to give away for $1 10 years ago.
Yeah,
and
1
I
million
never
now.
get into it.
Yes.
So it's $1 million and more for one of them buildings as the man them allow for investors to come in and start, the rebuilding process.
So where the black people them are going now?
Well, them did start a program about 7 years ago, where them allow black people move in some middle class areas. And them subsidize even the moving for the black people. So because the idea was to kind of elevate the liberty amongst the people and also the mindset to say if they move amongst middle classes, they will operate quote unquote according to middle class standards operate.
Yeah.
And some have.
Yeah.
But others have also brought the drugs.
But sometimes a leopard can't change them spots,
No, it's difficult, especially with this kind of socialization process,
Yes.
because the people, the education process have to take place first so that the man them can get elevated. They
Yes,
can't just move a man.
Yeah.
And you see the High Majesty do it also with Ethiopians, since the topic is Majesty.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Where Majesty use incremental progress among the people based on their standard of readiness.
Yes.
They just don't move people and say go modernize this and modernize that overnight.
Yeah, you have to make them
allow the
educated into
incremental
the
progress and
modernization.
people within their own divine way of evolution
Yes.
do it naturally.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things we see, and we, I man give thanks because it was, the will of the Almighty at the time I moved to Ethiopia, and I did that last December. I man just forward since the middle of August. The US now, I check our family. And there are some things that I think is important even to your listeners, because September 11th just take place. I send there an email also. Welcome Adisamet. Happy New Year 1999.
Yeah, man, I got it.
Give thanks. Well, we're sealing up right now. We're sealing up the end of a millennium. And as we talk about the High Majesty and the millennium of the Ethiopian and the Ethiopian Julian calendar, we must look and analyze what contributions Ethiopia through the work of the High Majesty has done towards world peace. As we look at the 61st United Nations General Assembly, what has the High Majesty through his work internationally have done to these issues that are now foremost in the consciousness of the world, as relates to collective security, as relates to basic human rights and these.
And it's long time. I tell them about collective security, the security of nations and the disposition that will cause, what it will cause if bigger nations don't increase them, what them call it, preserve young nations, like even at the time it was like nations like Ethiopia and so-called third world countries, I just did talk about that from them time there.
Look at that.
From them time they talk about it, and now we see the insecurity of nations reach a boiling point,
Of course.
You carry liquid pan plane again. That's a terrible thing. Anyway, give thanks, brethren.
Just before you go, Raswin, because I know there is a serious scholar when it comes on to their majesty, and there has been listing the program and so on. Is there any other input there I would like to make in terms of the Haile Selassie and the great works that, he carried out in terms of securing certain sovereignty, dignity for I and I?
I'm going to make that contribution. I'd love to do it even personally, because I'm going to touch the Jamaican shores October the 4th and going to be on the shores for about 9 days. So
yeah, but maybe when you come have a different program, so you better do it from now.
Yeah, well, through the there would not be anything more significant than what there is already brought forward, but we know that this work in this time, Their Majesty say that even small nations today are anxious about their future, paraphrasing Their Majesty. So they are even in the quest for these armaments that is devastating to world security and world peace. We see Tehran moving towards that. We see others have them eyes on this, and we see the superpowers even becoming greater in their quest towards annihilation of humanity. So we have to bring forward now the vision of Their Majesty as it relates to world security.
Yes.
To the consciousness of the people, and make the man them know that the Majesty has already decreed what the outcome will be. And if we do not, at a minimum, hold these people accountable and use a population mass, so we have to even stand fast and say it must take against these things. We're going to sit down and get wiped out of this.
Yes, brother.
You know what I mean? So I don't have to take much more time. But
no, you don't have to take much time. Man, your telephone bill you check, Because we are giving the time by the time, but you don't take more time.
We love the king, and we would have loved the ones them for know, say, as we go about the judgery for our work days, etc.
Yes.
We must take stock of these things, because the king, I remember watching a clip Ras Miguel that time and sent to the IAS, I believe, from the Golden Jubilee celebration, where the NBC reporters are asking himself, Your Majesty, you spoke against the League of Nations and it collapsed. What is your prophecy for the United Nations today? And he said, perhaps vested in the United Nations is the last vestige of hope for humanity.
Yeah, I read that. I said that somewhere. I didn't see it.
Yes, right?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
At this time, we see the United Nations being sidelined and used at convenience time to the wisdom and fancies of certain powerful nations. We want to say to the people who are the body politic of government, take a stand,
Yes.
Otherwise it's judgment on the land. And we are talking about annihilation. No, we're not talking about, just war and peace. We are talking about complete wiping out of humanity.
Yes.
It's close. And we not just tout that to make people get fearful.
Yeah.
But we are saying, in reality, there are bombs. Lebanon is a reality. You know what I mean? What the man them doing in Afghanistan is a reality. And we are saying the thing can get wicked because the man them know have smart nukes,
Yes.
They can, I listen as the first thing, Brother Muta, and more love, Brother Miguel.
Give thanks.
The Ethiopian millennium is coming. We have to reflect and plan forward. What shall we do then? Shall we continue in this folly?
Yes. Bless him, man. Yeah, this is the Culture Next on RFM. We want to tell the people them say, we are talking about Selassie this week, or we are talking about Selassie next week. What we want to do is just finish off this month with, because a long time we don't do it, and people always say, boy, I'm out there, I talk about that thing, I talk about Selassie. But we have to move according to the movement, see it. We don't get dictated to by, for, and behalf of. So we just move according to how we move, you see? So we give thanks. We give thanks, Miguel could have come tonight too. Because remember, couple times we have Miguel on the program and we see them thing as historical because it's two Rasta man where really, and we can't talk, even though Miguel there, we can't talk for him too. Is a Rasta man like myself who feels the supernatural thing in Rastafari seem to make Rastafari
hold us back, man.
Yes, you know, it gone too much like a religion thing, you know, where man no use education rather use indoctrination rather than education. Forget to Haile Selassie. And then end up deal with Haile Selassie because I realize it live up to the expectation of when they know when it was a little youth or that old time religion when they understand it to be is not that really. You know? Anyway, we just want to mention again when the brethren that a while ago talk about the United Nations. And we see this week is really a very serious time at the United Nations where the nations they meet. We say the Thailand Prime Minister, after him left him country and go give speech in the United Nations, them coup in him country. We say Bush attack and I give warning to the people them in the countries them that him claim is access of evil. Him a warn the people them that they must get rid of terrorism and tyranny from amongst them and democratize them country. And then we see Chavez rise up and said, this man is a devil. You know, I say, you're not going to stop here about this, you know. If all the things them this week we are here about is this thing where Chavez say, in the United Nations. Can you imagine a head of state get up in the United Nations and declare that the next head of state is a devil? It's a serious thing that. This is the Continuation RFM.
Yes, Walter.
Yeah, blessed.
Yeah, I'm making a cappuccino a little piece, you know.
Yeah, man, you're on here, man.
Yes. Your Syrian government of Rastafari, order of Nyabingi, the Council of Elder and Youth of Rastafari, Brethren and Sisters.
Yes.
We'll be having a meeting on the 24th September 2006 at the Malvern Nyabingi Tabernacle Center.
All right.
Calling
what the meeting is about?
Rastafari Brethren and Sisters in and around the parish.
What the meeting is about, brethren?
I don't, we want to form a little council, you know, where we can meet and reason and talk over things, you know.
Okay.
And like the youth and one-on-one.
Mm-hmm. All right. I don't want to disturb nothing. I don't want to really disturb nothing, but I have to ask, you see, because something will bother me. And I come in Rastafari and I hear this terminology. And
yes.
Sometimes when I say I don't,
we just all one-on-one to remember, you know, to come and defend the faith, you know.
Yeah, you hear me ask you something, you know. But I make an apology before I ask you. You understand?
Yeah.
What I say now is that I come here this terminology in a Rastafari and I don't agree with the terminology, but I listen to man I say it and I realize that the most man will say it, they will understand the terminology, but him just repeat it. This idea of theocracy, what the idea mean when them say theocracy government?
No theocracy reign government of Rastafari, man. Theocracy no mean government.
No. Theocracy mean more than government, you know. Theo is Greek for God.
Mean God.
Theo, the word Theo. Theo is a Greek for God.
Oh.
Cracy is the form of government that you use. So theocracy is really a government ruled by God. But here the problem with that now. How we see it in Iran and all them place there, you know, that is a theocratic government. But here we know, the God where them say rule is not God himself, you know, is a group of men sit down and declare that this is what God intend the government to be, and this is what God want of the government. So in truth and in fact, it's really men sitting down and declaring what them believe God is expecting of them to say to the people then. So I try to figure out now, if Rasta just use but the same terminology for declare God rule, because him feel say Haile Selassie himself I go sit down in the midst of Rastafari and rule. I use by the terminology for just say, boy, right now, It's something if you say. He don't want a democracy. He don't want to say, you know, anarchism. He don't want to say socialism. So he say theocracy, which is supposed to be a better government. But based upon my knowledge and the discernment of what I say historically, I have never seen a country where this God who people talk about is ruling without some priest sit down and declare what God say. Or do I see that?
Hell, I don't fight here, you know.
No, we know why you fight, because I don't fight there. We don't fight
we
there.
are here to correct. That's why I say the council to one and one sit down and correct things.
Miguel, how do I see it?
I think when Rastafari brethren use it.
I can't hear the item, you know.
All right.
Well, maybe you should hang up the phone and listen then.
Oh, all right.
You hang up the phone and listen, yes.
Yes. Because their majesty was both head of church, well, he wasn't really head of church, but
He was the defender of the faith.
defender of the faith, as head of the church. But because their majesty symbolizes such strong spiritualism, and the fact that he was also head of state, I think that is why Rastafarians have married the two, and to conclude now that it was more of a theocratic government.
But it wasn't in Ethiopia. It was actually
no, it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. But in I interpretation, because their majesty being the Godhead himself, and also being physically a head of state, he would symbolize and bring together more than anything else
the church and the state.
The church and the state. And I think that is why Rastafarians have always coined that. But
on the other end of the stick, Rastafari born church and state. Rastafari born church and state. You know?
Right. But many of them don't over that theocratic must mean church and state.
But that's what it means. That's the church and rule the state.
Yes, the church and the state.
Which I Selassi never agree with that in Ethiopia.
And also, as you said, in most other places where we see that take place,
Iran.
Yes, tyranny usually follow.
Yes.
Because you see, when a man say, it's a decree from God, you know.
Yes, you can't go against it.
Difficult for you.
You can't go against it.
Even debate it, you know.
You cut off your head immediately if you go against it.
You know.
You must wear your dress below your ankle.
Yes.
God said that.
Yes.
I think it's a Moses idea still, you know. Because, you know, I realize when you read the Old Testament, and this man Moses, very great politician, when though is get for him own tribe, you know. Because remember he's a 12 tribe, get him own tribe, and farm an idea in this tribe. And when do him create this big building and have this box in the building, and him and him try them go in at that building and farm and fashion laws and doctrine and come out and say, God say.
Yes.
But it's really the priests them I say it.
Yes.
So that's the first form of theocratic government, you know.
Yes.
But we don't know if it's God that say it when really the priests them we hear say it. And if you know, go by where the priests them say. Half with your head. I stone them, I stone you.
Yeah, because they came out now, and that is why them say, when you invade certain country, you must kill everyone.
Yes.
You know, kill them to the all male.
The baby.
Because your son must marry their daughters.
Yes.
And their son must marry your daughters. Yes. Which we know no God would do that.
Well,
no,
that's why I say no. That's why I say no. The idea of this perpetuating itself in Rastafari seems to be very dangerous to me. I don't know if you're next man, you know. But me, Mutabaruka, you know. I seen for perpetuate this idea of a theocratic government when we know, say, it's really the priests them who define what is happening.
Yeah.
If you go a Bingi, the priest said this. The man set up Bingi like it's a priest thing now. So he put it in a priest thing now, and the priest said this. So it's like the priest have a telephone line to God. Like the Pope have a telephone line to God. And then come now, tell you second hand what God say. And if you don't go with the priest say, your life will be excommunicated from the church. You know, so I don't know if I really want a government that is a theocratic government. If it's not the person himself who name God. Why come sit down now and say, you is God? All right, God, tell me what to do.
Yes.
But don't talk to me through no priest.
Yes.
Because the priest them is as corrupt as any other politician. And when the church rules state, it will going to be a big problem.
Very big problem. And also what we want, in such atmosphere, they never usually welcome thinking.
No. Reasoning is
especially radical thinking.
No, me that was heretic long time. They would have burned me at the stake 1 million
Yes.
times and take my body and burn it again and again and again.
Yes.
See? Because the church don't allow reason.
And like the idea you mentioned earlier on now regarding in Kenya, where the church is trying, here is historical facts.
Yes.
Showing and tracing
Yes.
more than any other part of the world.
Yes.
They have fossils
Of human
that
remains
date
and
older
animal.
than anybody else.
Yes.
And they are showing the history and the development of man. And with the computer now,
Yes.
it make it even more pronounced.
Yes. And the church has said no, that
And
is
the church
against
is
creation
against
theory.
creation theory.
Yes.
And want to destroy it.
Yes, them said must come out. Yes. Them
And
don't
it-
want
it-
the
it's-
children them.
No, and this has always been the attitude of the church. There was a council in I'm going to tell you, in 290 AD in Hippo. Hippo is a place in North Africa. Remember when they had those ecumenical conferences?
Yes,
The
yes.
Council of Nicaea, the Council of Chalcedon, the Council of Macedonia, and so on. Well, they had a meeting in Hippo in 290 AD. And you know, one of the catastrophe that conference concluded, that not only should they not include certain books in the Bible, but they should burn them.
Yes.
So that future generations don't get to analyze them and make
But that is what the Roman Catholic Church did.
Yes.
When them find out that certain things is truth, and it was against the doctrine, the
Yes.
dogma of the church, them say, them go and burn it.
Yes, they burn it.
Yes, them burn it, yes.
And this is why if you notice those people who come into our bookstore and them take up a book like, for example, 16 crucified saviors.
Yes.
And they realize that there were 16 crucified saviors
Man who
before
get-
Christ.
Yes.
That means them whole doctrinal levity when
Get a lick.
mashed down now, you know.
Yes.
Them prefer put on the book
And burn
run-
it. And say
come
them
out.
not deal with it.
No, because it must be a heretic book.
All right, I can read the article here. Kenya Bishop leads anti-evolution fight. Evangelists want fossil exhibits kept out of sight. The world's most important collection of human fossils may soon be hidden from public view if religious leaders get their way. In a move that has stunned scientists, senior clergy have demanded that the bones and skulls currently exhibited in Nairobi's National Museum of Kenya be removed from display to prevent young Africans from being corrupted. This is what a theocratic government does, you know.
Yes.
It's creating a big weapon against Christians that's killing our faith, said Bishop Boniface Adoyo, who is leading the Hide the Bones campaign. When children go to museums, they'll start to believe we evolved from these apes. Not surprisingly, the bishop remarks of infuriated scientists who consider the museum's collection to be unrivaled anywhere else in the world. Its fossils include those of 4 million year old ape man, Australopithecus, so something like that. There's 1.5 million year old remains of the Narokotom boy, the most complete skeleton of an ancient human ever found, which is that we just read a while ago about the human bones.
Found in Africa?
Yes.
Along that rift valley.
A little
here.
baby. A
Yes.
little baby.
Yes.
Yes. Many of these fossils were discovered by paleontologists Louis and Mary Leakey in areas around Lake Victoria and Lake Turkana, and are generally regarded as providing stark demonstration of how our species was shaped by natural selection. So now what we are saying now is that this is
when church have too
when
much
church
power.
control.
Yes.
This is all when church control. Can we see that in a medieval
In other
Europe?
words, once you take it out of sight, you know, the more destroy it, you know.
Yeah, because I hear a virgin last night again. I tell Ian Bowen say him have to baptize. One of the things them for save, him have to baptize. And me and boy look at him and say, so you tell me say, me have to baptize in the Haile Selassie name for save? The brother said, yes. Can guess who will baptize him? The brother will attack. So you know, say, you say, every man, all me and you know, so we are Rasta. That mean nothing if you don't get baptized. And guess what for baptize you? The man who say it.
Yes, which is going backward, eh?
So it's that we are saying now.
Yes.
That we are saying now that we need.
That's no different between what many of the churches do.
No, you have to baptize by water and saved by the blood of the Lamb and things. So
all of that.
So what we are saying now is that these reasoning is very vital to the continuity of Rastafari in the realms of the real world that we now live in, or even is living in, because a lot of the things that we see taking place right now, we can go back into certain reasoning where Haile Selassie give other nations about what will happen if them don't do that. Because it's a normal thing, you know. This A plus 1 plus 1 equal 2 is a now. If you don't do that, this is a reason why it happen. And you know, there's a law that say if you keep repeating the same thing, you're going to get the same thing happening.
Yes, the same result.
The same result, the same thing happening if you have the same result where it come. And Haile Selassie, over the years, reading Haile Selassie, we not talk about reading Isaiah and says Haile Selassie, or read Jeremiah and says Haile Selassie. Reading the words of Haile Selassie, you see how visionary the man is when it comes on to certain basic and simple deduction of world events, world views.
Men search and peruse the pages of history for precedent, but alas, there's none to be found. Where are we to look? And
we must first look to the Almighty.
Yes, who has made man with intelligence and reason.
Yes.
He has always emphasized that, you know.
Yes.
Him say when man give up intelligence and reason, him lose everything, you know.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then him say we must look to ourselves and become the new man.
Yes.
The new human being. So he has always put it into us.
Yeah, we need
that we need to rise, man.
Yes, and think, man.
Yes, especially the race. Look at the black race. That Tanya Stevens song was so good earlier on. What a brilliant song, man.
You want to hear more?
And then when she said things like, is this what you die for, Marcus, Martin, and Rosa?
Yes.
And we have to look into it now. Like these great, if the money had in any other race, you know, that race they would have changed.
Of course.
If you had them caliber man, you know.
Of course.
I don't think people even move over the depths of our like Malcolm, you know.
No.
Malcolm was like teacher, preacher, judge. Malcolm level of discipline, you know, that he brought, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to fast 3 times a day out every week. You can't look for the next man, woman. You have to eat certain things. You have to attend to this. Malcolm was that serious. Discipline. Malcolm keep court, you know. When you hear the 2 sides and make a decision, you know, and you have to abide by it, you know.
Yes.
They're over that great. And if them man had any race to the transform, them man is part of the black race. And like Tanya say, them man give them life, and you wonder if it's worth it.
Yes.
But it must work.
What them would have say? What them would have say? No, cutting edge IRFM. Yes. Yes, brethren.
Yes, I agree.
Yes.
Who in the Universal Media Program. We give thanks for the discourse and its Imperial Majesty. Because people seem to forget that is the name of an individual, you know, and what his utterance is all about. But what I really find interesting is the discussion about the Italian war, invasion of Ethiopia, and the point he made about it's not just about what you do on the battlefield, but at the diplomatic level and so on.
Yes.
And it brought to mind something that I remember from in the 60s. There was a magazine called Ethiopian Observer.
Yes.
And I'd really love if you or Brother Miguel could have really get back at that publication.
I have 2 of them, you know.
Yeah, man, I have 2 of them.
I have 2 of them.
Right.
Yeah, man, I have some.
There was a particular one I remember that I had, and a friend of mine brought it and never gave it back to me. It had a thing about letters from the emperor to the patriots on the battlefield. And they gave you like a, you know, they had a number of letters that he wrote to them. And let me tell you something, when you read them letters, they you know, one of the men them win the war, you know. Because it was so inspiring, you know.
Yes.
And it says really that. I think all of this thing where people talking about Rastafari and so on and various things, the man needs to really get back to basics and remember to
you hear the word where you use basic?
Yeah.
And that make Rastafari powerful, you know, the basic.
Man.
You understand?
Just deal with what him deal with.
Yeah, too much highfalutin reasoning.
Yeah, you have to go around and make up things.
And make him into what him is not.
Yeah, can him touch every aspect of life.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Give thanks,
to
brethren.
the
Yeah, man.
Right.
This is the Culture Age on IRFM. As we talk about that, you know that isn't it strange that we just talked about Malcolm X a while ago, and you know the Malcolm X them have a man named Farad, who them declare was God in the flesh, Muhammad in the flesh, and God in the flesh really, and him come to visit Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah, them say he was the founder of the Nation of Islam.
It was 1892. It was 1930. These
significant
dates, very significant. 1892, 1930. 1892 is the birthday of Haile Selassie
yes.
I, and 1930
is the
coronation of Haile Selassie, and that have a very serious part to play in the Black Muslims calendar also. Yeah, Cutting Edge RFM.
Blessed Motor.
Yes.
Rastafari bless. Yes, blessed Miguel.
Give thanks, my brother. Blessings.
Yeah, Rastan and this, you know, me talk to the eye over Queen Mother House in Detroit.
Isis. Give thanks.
Blessed King.
Yes, we call him from Detroit, you know?
Yeah, man.
Isis. You more international call than
call for this program. International way.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, we can't live for Cutting Edge every Wednesday night today.
Yeah, man.
Already.
Give thanks.
Yeah, man, I enjoy the item reasoning. I think what I like to add to the discussion is marriage to make a speech to where we say we must become something we have never been.
Miguel just quote a while ago.
Yeah, man, I say it out on
Yeah.
man. Where are we to
Yeah,
look
man.
for answers to questions that have never been asked before?
Yeah.
We must first look to the Almighty, who has endowed man with intelligence and reason.
Yes, bless.
Yeah, man.
And
it's very important you talk about intelligence and reason, you know.
Yeah.
That means we as human beings must be able to analyze and discern things for ourselves to come to conclusions without have others people riveting it down our brain and wash our brains like say dirty.
Right. Yeah, man. I look for Europe, like Europe unite, right, and a Christendom, and then they get powerful one time.
Yes.
Right, and start conquer certain things. I see it as like we have to become something we have never been before, where Africa never really united before. It was always divided to different tribes and religion, you know? Different ideas. You know what I'm saying? It seems like in this time it's like Rastafari are bringing it together. You know? As a new identity, you know?
Yes. We create our own ideas and concepts that must not be always be validated by European ideas and concepts.
Yeah,
right.
That is my doctrine upon the Cutting Edge, you know. That we must not allow Europeans to dictate and decide our logics.
Right.
You see? Because who is saying that their way of rationalizing and understanding things is the way to rationalize and understand these things? You know, we must defend and decide our own logics. You know, when we create something of our own, by our own situations and our own experience, we can't really put it with for them thing and say, well, since that is that and that is that, we can't write and must for them. For instance, simple. God is the creator of heaven and earth. This is really a European logics. It is not, it don't be so powerful no foundation or no truth. You see? Because people in other places don't talk that way. You see, these are things that people say out of repetition and people repeating it without even sitting down and think and say, how that come about? How we come to that conclusion?
Right.
You know, so it's just that way I say that we need to see things through our own, like Marcus Garvey said, seeing things through our own spectacle and then defining it through our own logics. It's a very important part of the liberation and freedom.
Yeah, man, true, man. And Rasta have a unique a unique element to it, whereas it's because the information come away where it's like you're stuck in the information, you know, you take time and filter it out, because at one time when me come on to Rastafari, me look on his majesty as like a junkie Jesus guy, can fly like Superman and, you know, all them little things there, you know, and then I start
filter it,
going on the philosophy, you know, and start overstand it, you know, different levels, you know.
Yeah, so, man. Give to how much you hold the eyes? How much you hold the eyes?
Who, me?
Yeah.
31.
Yeah, man. Give thanks, brethren.
Yeah, man.
Give thanks to the reason.
Yeah, man. I just want to say, Brother Muta, once it is their standard, once it is their barometer that we follow, then we will always be second best.
Of course.
You see, and that is why I fully support that reasoning, that it has to be I and I got to be organically rooted in making sure that I and I is the standard, and that is why you need that paradigm shift.
Of course.
From their way of thinking, and therefore bring it within I and I 1,000%
experience.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to go back to Tanya Stevens now. Tanya Stevens, and I'm going to keep using this little phrase where Tanya Stevens said one of the tune them. Tanya Stevens say, if experience teacheth wisdom, how come you have so much wisdom and you don't have no experience? You see? So the logic is this, that we are always told that experience teacheth wisdom. And a whole heap of man out there, I claim now say, him have wisdom. But when you look at him, they have no experience. So how come you as experience teacheth wisdom, and you have so much wisdom, but you don't have no experience?
But you cannot have wisdom without experience.
What did that say? What did she say?
Yes.
She said, there's no way, no, you can't go tell me, say, you are wizzy.
Yes.
And you don't have the experience, and you can't tell me, say, experience teach wisdom.
Because you have never implemented that wisdom.
Yes.
And to know if it is formulated correctly or not.
Yes. Is it true wisdom? Can you have true wisdom without experience?
Cannot.
Yes.
Cannot. Yeah, man. If we yield, I'm going to read the part His Majesty said. I'm reading from page 360 of the book here now. If we yield, him said, we must speak out on major world issues courageously, openly, and honestly, and in blunt terms of right and wrong. You understand, Muta?
Yes.
Don't be afraid. In blunt terms, you must speak out.
Yes.
Courageously, openly, honestly, in blunt terms of who is right and who is wrong.
Yes.
If we yield to blandishments or threats, if we compromise when no honorable compromise is possible, our influence will be sadly diminished and our prestige woefully prejudiced and weakened. Let us not deny our ideals or sacrifice our right to stand as the champions of the poor, the ignorant, and the oppressed everywhere.
Yes.
Highly high. Those are the exact words.
That is supposed to be Rastafari.
It must be.
Motto.
We must be the champions of the poor, the ignorant, the oppressed. That means we must be the our little sister, them who are whore and proud. We have to be champion for them, you know?
Of course.
The madman on the road.
We not left nobody.
No. We must be the champ. We must be their voice. The voice for the voiceless.
This is the Culture Net and RFM coming through. Yes, brethren.
Greetings, Mota.
How is it? How are you doing, man?
I want to say greetings to my brother.
Miguel.
Give thanks for brother.
I'm a Jesus brethren, this, Miguel.
Okay, I'll listen to him sometime, you know.
Man, him not stop, man. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to ask Miguel a question.
Okay. You're going for Miguel tonight, I know. You left me all night.
No, it's not a matter of...
All right, ask Miguel. Me will listen.
Okay. Now, I just want to find out. I know Mota's view in regard to this question, but should the religious belief of Haile Selassie matter to the Rastafarian way of life?
Oh yes, it always matters.
But it seems to me, though, you know, that there's a lack of understanding in regard to Haile Selassie's religious views. And a lot of people a lot of brethren want to deny the fact that Haile Selassie was a Christian.
Yes, but on the other hand, Haile Selassie also said we should not in any way do anything to derogate, question, or tell another man that his stand is wrong.
But if we have so much faith in Haile Selassie, shouldn't his way of life, shouldn't his religious view
Yes.
Shouldn't it be a path that the Rasta man trod?
All right. Let us put it in context now.
Yes.
Christ, who you might praise.
No, I
wait,
really
no, my
don't.
brother. Whether you do art, let's say you don't.
Okay.
Christ had a certain view.
Yes.
People did not go beyond Christ and heal the view that Christ had, you know. They made Christ a deity.
And make the view in Christ.
Definitely. Buddha.
Yes.
Remember Buddha?
Yes.
Buddha was a prince. His father was a king. He left the surroundings of the palace and went out. And Buddha didn't set out to set up a philosophy and a religion, you know. But by meditating,
His teaching became.
definitely. And then he himself
Yes.
became a leader of the Buddhist faith.
Yes.
So the point I'm making is that people didn't go now and said who it was that Buddha used to heal. We looked at Buddha himself. And based on his meditative type of philosophy,
around that.
definitely.
When
Wait, my brother, wait, no. And then he himself now, people have now elevated him to the level of a deity. And I could go on and on with Zoroaster, Confucius, and so
I
on.
say something. Him don't want to hear me talk, but I
No,
can
man,
talk.
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
What really I say, boy long to, is that Christ, Jesus Christ, if you want to call it that, gave credence to Judaism. Most Christians give
He was an
credence.
Israelite.
Wait, no. Most Christians give credence to Jesus Christ. Not what Jesus Christ is believing in, but what them believe in
Came with a
in
new way.
but what them believe in Jesus Christ. So we'll transform that now to Haile Selassie. Haile Selassie is a Christian.
Yes.
It don't mean you have to be a Christian too, because it's not what Haile Selassie believe in. You are see within that thinking is what Haile Selassie is to you.
What do you think is the most valued thing that Haile Selassie had?
The value of thing him have?
Yeah.
Life.
I don't think it was his religion.
No,
It was
no,
his
no, his
religion
life,
that he
no.
found comfort in, you know.
Yeah, but I had said to you, but wait, no, but you see, you say that you don't want to hear what I say, you don't want to understand what I say. What I say is that Haile Selassie believe, what Haile Selassie believe in her, is not what is driving you, you know. Is what who Haile Selassie is that is driving Rasta. So if Haile Selassie, it's not Christianity, it's not based upon what Jesus Christ live in him Judaism, Jude as a Jew, you know. It based upon for the man, this man, what him do in him life and what him say in him life. This is what is driving Christianity. So most Christians don't go to Judaism for them faith.
Well,
them go to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John who talk about Jesus Christ.
not necessarily, no.
I mean, not
Because the
necessarily.
entire Bible-
Christianity is based upon for Paul.
Old Testament and New Testament.
No, but no.
With-
But nobody don't stone homosexuality in homosexuals in Christ. In Christ, them say we must give peace a chance and elevate man in him own understanding and knowledge. So man don't go around stoning homosexuals and telling you must wear that and must wear that and all these things.
Well, Christ was a good example of not stoning the sinner.
But that's what I'm trying to show you, my
So
Regine.
that's what I'm saying, that Christ himself, Jesus himself, was a good example of not stoning the criminal or the
But
sinner.
Christ, but Jesus gave
Because
credence to
if it was-
Judaism.
And hold
He
on.
grew up as a Jewish youth.
And Judaism principle was to stone the whore.
Yes.
But Christ said, don't stone the whore. So we stopped at him.
Yes.
But hold on, beloved.
Judaism said stone the whore, you know.
Yes.
Yes.
Jesus Christ said don't stone the whore. So who you follow? Judaism or Christ?
Well, that is where the New Testament, that is where the Christian comes in now.
You don't know Christianity that?
In the
So
sense that,
Haile Selassie don't lack, you know.
huh?
But Rasta lacks.
But Haile Selassie, you know, spoke of an Almighty. Who is this Almighty?
Let them try to talk about Almighty to brethren.
Yeah.
The man dog gets...
Your dog get vexed with you, man.
Yeah, but I don't want him to distract us from the general
Yeah,
reason.
because it's him always do that, and him always come now, come tell you say we must believe in our...
No, I'm not going to tell you what to believe in, you know.
Yeah, but you see, I don't understand how you can't sue me and say for how much years now.
No, I'm just saying that first.
My father
Yes.
belief is not what is driving me in Haile Selassie, you know. Haile Selassie belief is not what make I say Haile Selassie, you know. Is who him is and what I see in him.
But to deny Haile Selassie.
No, I'm not denying nothing. I just tell you, say, it's not what Haile Selassie believe in now. Why Rasta say him is the Almighty. It's who him is.
But you know, even this name Rasta, in Ethiopia,
Oh,
most
gosh,
people
man.
religion, most people name are associated with one religion or the other.
So what that mean?
And even Rasta.
Rastafari. Tafari is one
Okay,
word.
Even Tafari.
Tafari, yeah.
Even Tafari.
Yes.
Is a name that is really Islamic, And
Yeah, so what that have to do with
I'm
what?
just saying.
My name are English to me, them give me an English name.
a deliberate conversion from Islam to Christianity, in which Haile Selassie the first is a direct result of a conversion to Christianity from Rastafari, which Prince Tafari was.
But Tafari was not a Muslim.
Neither is Tafari a Muslim name.
Tafari is not a Muslim name.
Not a
Tafari is
Muslim
not a
name.
Muslim.
No, it's not a Muslim name.
Okay.
It can be traced to the Geese.
But it is a general practice, though, that the
Yes.
what
is the point here? What is the point? That we must believe in our Jesus, what Haile Selassie believe in.
Then what is?
All right.
Well, he was that. I will just conclude this part with the words of Haile, where he says, the acts by which we live and the attitudes by which we act must be clear beyond question. Principles alone can endow our deeds and with force and meaning. Let us be true to what we believe, that our beliefs may serve and honor us.
But
Him don't tell you what to believe in.
What to believe in.
All he said is whatever we believe in,
yes.
we must make sure that our beliefs will serve and honor us. In other words, 100 years from now, that belief must be that belief must be honorable to what we stand for.
Don't you think it is a honorable thing to also honor the religious beliefs of the emperor?
No, there are some who do. Yes, and if they do, we don't have no problem with that.
There's 50 different beliefs in Ethiopia. Haile Selassie never tell everybody they must drop where they don't believe in a way they believe in.
No, definitely, because...
All right. So, you think Haile Selassie going by some terrible thing, declare me null and void because I don't believe in a way he believe in her?
But it would seem highly contradictory, wouldn't it?
No, it's not contradictory to you because you are finding logics in what that say. That's what I'm showing you. You see, I keep saying it, I am not going to make your logics define my concept.
But you're saying the same thing about Haile Selassie.
Saying what? Saying about Haile Selassie?
His logic, whether religious or other.
No, but religion is not belief, it's not a logic, brethren. A man, religion,
the Rastafarian religion.
Wait there.
Yes.
You see, Haile Selassie talk about a man belief is his personal thing, Haile Selassie mentioned that, a man...
You can't impose your belief on another man.
But I'm not imposing him belief.
Imposing my belief on yours. I'm saying that I used to be a Rastafarian,
Yeah, but so what I mean?
I came to the decision that...
you're going to believe in her way Haile Selassie believe in her.
Exactly.
And I can tell you, say, that is your logics. That is your way of defining what you believe in her. I can tell you, say, I don't have to define it that way.
But you still would not be in accordance with the teachings and the belief of Haile Selassie.
But him just quote Haile Selassie a while ago and me accept what him say.
But the Rastaman
is Haile Selassie religion you are talking about?
Is supposed to view Haile Selassie.
No, don't tell me what Haile Selassie Rasta supposed to do.
From where the world view him.
But use a turn back Rasta, you can't tell me what me supposed to do.
I'm telling you.
No, look here. Him just read something from Haile Selassie and I accept it totally without any question. I accept it.
But why you refuse to accept his religion? That is what I'm saying.
But that's why you must go and sit down. You must go and sit down and go deep into what I've been telling you for how much years now and figure out why I'm saying.
All right, hold on. Might I ask you, my brother?
Yes.
Haile Selassie, and we can give you many quotations where he refers to the Almighty as the All-Highest.
Okay.
And there are many other quotes that I can give you where he refers to the Almighty as the Almighty. Not as Jesus Christ, not as Muslim or so on.
But you see...
No, wait, no, my brother. In other words, he himself says, we must give praises to the all highest.
But it's a mistake for anybody to view.
No.
as
You can't,
the
no.
Almighty,
You see, once you start on that premise to say it's a mistake.
Yeah, but that, it's that him there.
Hold on, my
Christ
brother.
can't be God because him not accept Jesus Christ as God.
Yes.
There's a lot of misconception in regard to the Christian belief in the fact that it is all tangled up into institutions and dogmas and teachings of a different sort.
What you know about Haile Selassie? What you know about Haile Selassie?
Well, you know, I have several books on Haile
No,
Selassie.
tell me about something like how we did a quote some things where Haile Selassie said. Tell me some things where
I know this
Haile
for
Selassie
sure.
said.
That Haile Selassie,
Yes.
yes, the Almighty was actually speaking in him.
No,
In
the
the
Almighty
sense that-
speaking to everybody, man. Me say, tell me something that Haile
In the
Selassie
sense-
said. When you was a Rasta,
Yes.
what was it that spurred you to be Rasta that Haile Selassie said?
It had to do with this whole thing with the League of Nations.
Okay.
When there was a betrayal,
Which betrayal?
in the sense that the League of Nations did
Betrayal.
not come to his assistance
Mm.
in regard to the invasion of Ethiopia.
And that is why you say Haile Selassie,
man.
you become a Rasta.
And I'm saying that
That is why you become a Rasta.
Haile Selassie
Yeah.
present the situation to the League of Nations
Yes.
and let them know that this fire that was burning in Ethiopia
It shall burn Europe.
shall also burn in Europe.
Yes.
And it wasn't
And
long.
the prophecy came true.
It wasn't long before.
Yeah. Mussolini
fire
and Hitler
started
sided with one another.
in
So that is
Europe.
why you became a Rasta.
No, wait, no, man.
No, tell me the same story what we just talk
It
about,
is
man.
a thing, you know.
We just talk about that story. May I ask you why you become a Rasta? What in
Actually-
Haile Selassie? What in Haile Selassie
Yes.
that made you become a Rasta?
It had to do, first of all, it had to do with the Bible.
Okay, so
Numbers.
you saw
No, I
something in in the
No,
Bible
man.
that referred to Haile
I'm
Selassie.
just saying that I took a vow about 20-something years ago. And I said to myself that I was going to dedicate my life to God. To tell you the truth, I didn't even know who this God was.
Man, you love yourself on radio, you know. Me say,
Yeah.
what did Haile Selassie say or do that
But
make you say?
I told you already.
Yeah, but you take too long, brethren. Just
But I
tell
told
me.
you already,
What? The Mussolini thing.
The whole invasion.
So is that why you say? That's why you become a
Yes,
Rasta?
it leave an impression on my life.
So that make you become a Rasta?
In the sense that not a Rasta, because I really don't know what a Rasta is.
No, but you say you was a Rasta. No, you say you was a
I
Rasta.
believer in Haile Selassie.
No, you say you was a Rasta.
Yes, to the way we view Rasta.
No, wait there. You didn't.
Because when
Were
I
you
walk
a
on the
Rasta?
road,
Were you a Rasta?
When I walk, people still...
No, me not talk what people still. Me ask you now. Me not talk what people think.
Yes.
Alright, were you a Rasta?
You know, as long as you wear the locks, you know.
Oh gosh, man, just answer me now, bridge. Me ask if you was a
I tell
Rasta.
you, man, that I used to believe in Haile Selassie.
So you was a Rasta
Then
then?
what do you think make a Rasta? Is
No,
it believe
wait now,
in
man.
Haile
Then
Selassie?
wait now, brethren. Wait now.
Uh-huh.
Were you a Rasta?
Maybe you should define what a Rasta is.
No, I can't define Rasta to you at this moment in time. You must tell me if you was a Rasta or
Yeah,
not.
I'm trying to tell you.
Were you a Rasta? It's a simple yes or a simple no.
I was a believer in Haile Selassie and still is a believer in Haile Selassie.
So you
But
wasn't
on
a Rasta
different
then?
Level. I do not view Haile Selassie as some almighty
So
God.
you wasn't a Rasta then?
Well, maybe I was a little...
Oh gosh, man, just talk straight now, brethren.
whatever.
No, you wasn't a Rasta then. That means that you could not tell me now, say, the reason why you become a Rasta is because of Haile Selassie in front of the League of Nations.
Only you
It's lie you tell.
If only you would give me the correct definition of what
No,
a
don't,
Rasta
no,
is.
no. You define Rasta or you want to define Rasta and tell me if you was a Rasta.
But I already...
Don't make I define Rasta to
You
you.
feel correct, my man.
No, no, I'm not correcting.
can't
You,
repent of my
look
father.
here.
I
You
return to the
define Rasta to yourself and then in a yourself
With
say, yeah, of
hands
course,
on my
Mr.
head.
Rasta.
I'm just saying, correct me.
No.
Bring it back to the fold.
All right, here I know. We're going to finish the reasoning.
Yes.
Yeah, give thanks, yeah?
All right.
Yes. That brother here can him love himself on the radio, say, man.
Yes, we don't really want because the time
Yeah,
to
the
step
man
up
love
and
himself on the radio, me I tell you, man.
you know, it's two things I want to mention as I
Yeah.
sit down here. You listen to the Running Africa Sunday, man? You get to listen to the program?
No.
Well, because this In Search of series really powerful, you know.
Yes.
But what was nice Sunday is when they must read out the names
of the people,
of the brothers and sisters who get different punishment.
Yes.
Some get transported, murdered, hanged.
Instead of say the slaves them.
Yes.
They name them.
Just when I read out the names, Bro Muta, I couldn't just sit down something. I'd have to stand up, and salute. Because them are the real ancestors, my brethren.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
yes,
Who
yes.
bear the cross, like Tanya said, you have to experience, to have wisdom.
Yes.
Them bear the cross for make I and the eye can even sit down yes or no.
And I talk this way.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
And next thing I want to mention before the program wrap up, and this is have to do with the goodness of Rasta. Yeah, you know, say Bunny Wheeler start a school.
Yeah, I hear about it.
Yeah, man, the Solomonic All-Seeing School, right at 20 Mona Road. You know, this is like a dream come true, because it's something that Bob, Peter, and Bunny always talk about. So Bunny is very elated that him could have fulfilled that mission.
Start a school.
A school now, which is an Afrocentric school, where they teach Rastafari and
African things.
Yes, and black glory and all them weird. So we give thanks. It's like it named the Solomonic All Saints. All Saints, a school. Remember the All Saints?
Yeah, man, remember All Saints, man.
All Saints Kindergarten Preparatory College.
Okay.
So you have a school now. We
It's
can
a
send
kindergarten and a college at the same time.
Yes, yes. Like a war so hard at university.
It's a kindergarten and a college at the same time. That is
Yes, yes.
Is that what I want the definition of things?
Yes.
Or we define it? Kindergarten and college, you know?
Yes. But the import, we give thanks that this is where, like I said earlier on, that if ones and ones now could put their knowledge and their resources to things that will create a new definition. The type of children will come out of school like this now. Won't
new
be
thinking.
Definitely.
Yes.
And that's what we want.
Nobody now have to watch them brains.
No, and then the more I forgot you with me and the other I forgot you.
Yes, for reach us or no.
Yeah, because we'd have to shelve off
enough
some of them things there. It helps us later on because we can stand up and talk and think.
Experience. Teach it wisdom.
Yeah, man.
This is the Continental on RFM. You know, it's sweet because what happens is that we hear my talk about the different religions in this thing. We make a unite and
bring them all together.
Come together and thing. And
yes.
we are say within the realms of what we call utopian thinking. It's a nice thinking, but we wonder now, when we look we are going at the world, you think Muslim and Christian will ever come together? Consider even the Pope, where the Pope quote years ago, an emperor said his thing, and the Pope will bring that back right up in front now and say, look, this is where he must say, him say it, which we know not him must say it, but he must say it because he must take it out.
Of course, but look how much of that thing him could have quote.
Yeah, and knowing we are going at the earth,
him quote that now for try
quote that now
suppress the jihad and suppress Muhammad.
The people they must get vexed, you know see it. So what me I say now is that we can say, this train with Bush and Osama bin Laden or Muslim Christianity, and then the Muslim, I said the Western world. The problem with it is that me in the Western world, I don't get caught at the whole big, the whole thing, I don't want. You think that is a possibility? That Muslims and Christians can come together as one?
But me could not even look so far. Look, we even think of even I and I, and for example, the Catholic Church. When we know what they did in Ethiopia, when we know what they did during slavery,
yes,
I really don't want we ever come together. I don't want to kill nobody. I don't want that, but I prefer you stay over there, so and I stay here, so.
Yes.
Because until you
but we all come together for do.
Definitely. Because you have exhibited abnormal, inhuman behavior.
Yes.
Against another set of human beings there. And if you don't atone and if you don't say it wrong and do enough things, I wouldn't feel comfortable for me and you never see
definitely house. Not. Because your office ever do it again.
But you notice a thing, almost everybody Ian Bowen bring on him program, always say them was a Rasta. You notice anybody bring home.
So they was a Rasta.
Them was a Rasta.
I know the man who was Rasta fight against Rasta the most.
Definitely.
The man who was Rasta fight against Rasta the most.
So this is why I just put that in context of all the
was a Rasta, yes, continent.
That is them qualification for fight Rasta, Yes, I was a Rasta.
Was a Rasta, yes, continent. You gone. Yeah, no, it's true. And I did make a statement the other day on the stage at the culture show where I say, nearly every tune where Ridicule Rasta go number one in a Jamaica. From the Dreadnought of 48 to Lieutenant Stitch to Mikey Campbell, we talk about the Dreadnought the Barber Salute. Every tune to the one that we talk about
Pluta Shervington.
Pluta Shervington. To Loving Dear, where I say the Dread, the Gilbert and all them tunes.
Yes.
All of them were Ridicule Rasta.
Yes.
Go number one. Yes, still Rasta still there, so. It's amazing, eh?
Yes.
It's amazing that we really stand up.
That's what I said.
Over the
You
years.
see, we become more fortitude.
Yes.
When the enemies seek to bring out these things. That's why I say a man's statue is not measured by his friends.
Yeah, but by enemies.
His enemies.
Give thanks, cutting edge.
That's just strength away.
Cutting edge.
Yeah, Mota.
Yes.
Yeah, blessed.
I see.
Yeah, man, the reason Peter do that. I just wanted to touch on this whole concept of God and Haile Selassie and so on.
It kinda.
Based on what you were just talking about. I'll be quick.
Yeah.
You know, what I think is that we're kind of following a Western concept of what God is, you know.
Definitely.
Because when man talk about God and Haile Selassie, we don't worship the flesh and we don't focus on the individual, but what him represents and them ideals. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it just kind of come in a way like, you know, we say a man as a boy, him believe in Haile Selassie. We don't believe in Haile Selassie, but we appreciate them represent and the more historical context in which him develop and we see it and we appreciate that.
I think we're going to try to put him in the supernatural realms.
Yeah, you understand?
Yeah.
That means say, when you do that now, you can come up with that kind of ideas
Yes.
about it, you know?
Him
So-
count apple 13 times before he drop a ground and
You
all that
understand?
stuff,
And really, right now, we just need to make like even the youth them more, learn up more about the individual, you know what I mean?
No, say a real man.
Yeah, he's a real man and when represent and so on, so, you know? So, but this God thing about believing in Haile Selassie,
Yeah, it
that is a falsehood.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Yeah,
Give thanks, brethren. Yeah, man, and it's a youth that, you know, him know what I say, and we agree with what I say.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, man.
Because even the idea of God, too, you know, it's a Western logic.
thinking. And also, because there are many African words, you know,
Yes.
which could mean grandfather.
Yes.
We could also mean God. You know.
God, yes.
Because we see our grandfather as God.
Yes, yes.
You know, like take a word, Kosi.
Yes.
Kosi Sekelele Africa. Kosi in some part of Africa means king.
Yes.
Some part of Africa means God. And some part of Africa mean elder.
Yeah, God bless Africa.
Yes.
Yes.
You understand what I mean?
Yes.
So the whole idea of how they know have set the parameters in the definition of God. Yes. If we end up following that again, we're going straight.
And it creates a problem for the minds of the Africans them who genetically link to another concept, which is still it kind of embedded in a way, you know. But because of this, what you call concept that is dominant, it creates a confusion. You see?
Yes.
And it creates a confusion because while the one that is we are come up, the one that is dominant carry a press it down back. And we live in the illusion that this one that is dominant is really the one that we must hold on
That
to.
we must follow. And
Yeah.
an important aspect is language too, you know.
Yes.
Because we're not speaking our own tongue.
And if you talk the next man language, you're going to define and
Definitely.
Yes.
Because in many of our I and I tongue now, it will be so easy to express our feelings as to when we say the Almighty or the All Highest, so, you know, as to who we are referring to, and also how we see it. So, but because we have to be
in the language,
we have an African mind speaking a colonial and an English language, an oppressive language, which has dominant features to keep us down.
Yes.
So we have to throw off so much.
That's why the Rasta man create his own language, which is the dominant language.
The I and I principle.
Yes. So when him say I, him prefer say I than God.
Yes.
Because him knows that within that logics, it make more sense to him in the concept than for really define it in the logics of the Europeans until they say God is this and God is that and God is that.
I and I.
Yes.
Meaning I and the I and the Almighty
one.
I.
It's just one.
Is one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, cutting edge.
Yes, King.
Yes. Highly.
Yes, Miguel.
Black live.
Yeah, enjoy the program.
Give thanks.
You know, what I read on Family when Marcus Garvey was in America, getting the people together. And between Marcus passing and Haile Selassie leaving Ethiopia for England, between 1930 and 40, if you notice, when Marcus Garvey left Elijah Poole that is Elijah Muhammad
Yes.
at the time. They were a student of Marcus Garvey. And within that same realm, the nation of Islam, Fahad Muhammad, strategically placed himself within 1935 and 1940.
Well, it's them place him still.
The Marcus Garvey following in America.
Yes.
And between 1940 and 1945, he disappeared. You know, you hear not about him again. Because the Muslim was following the situation in Ethiopia and following the situation in America. And because they saw that weakness right there, you know, they came in between right there and took over Marcus Garvey following, which was led by Elijah Muhammad. At the time, he was Elijah Poole. You see where I come from?
Yeah.
So the Muslim race, they were strategically following all events, you know, and because of that weakening of the leader, Marcus Garvey, them just come right in the story. So the Muslim now, out of Marcus Garvey philosophy.
Yeah, you would have found that though, you know, because that was a strategy of America now when they deported Garvey to help kill the movement. And you'd have found that the teachings that Garvey gave them, that they would gravitate towards another black-like organizational teaching of the Nation of Islam. So you find a lot of them now.
Yeah, it was already implanted in the minds of the black
and
Americans.
because Garvey was saying, look to Africa for the black king.
Yes.
He should be your God and your king.
Yes.
All right, but you know, I want to say something about that, about Marcus Garvey saying these things.
All right, Rastafari,
give that. It's the next thing too, because, all right. Well, here are all the things where Marcus Garvey say, and people say it's Marcus Garvey showing my Selassi, but I want to mention one thing, right, where nobody now have no doubt about what Marcus Garvey said, without any doubt. And if you don't believe me, we're going to go into the philosophy and opinions of Marcus Garvey. There's a part tonight about God, when I'm talking about God, when I'm say, if the white man choose to see God through his spectacles, let him do it. If the Jewish man choose to see God through the God of Abraham, listen to him say, no. Him specifically can say it, you know. Him say, through the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Make him see it. And him go down the line and him say, but though how late it might be, we,
as Africans,
must see God through Ethiopia.
Yes.
Now, it's two things I want to mention in that talk when Marcus Garvey said, whether consciously or unconsciously, one, him differentiate the God of Ethiopia from the God of Isaac, Abraham and Jacob.
Yes.
It's a serious definition, this now, you know.
Yes.
Because I read that thing that you say weird. Marcus Garvey had separate the white man God, the Jewish God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob from the God of Ethiopia.
Yes.
And not that now too. We know that Marcus Garvey always mention Africa. But in this case, he'll separate Ethiopia from Africa and say, though late it might be, we must worship God. We African, though late it might be, must worship God through Ethiopia.
Yes.
No care man want to tell me, no care man want say to me, whether Marcus Garvey was consciously or unconsciously showing us Haile Selassie, that talk, show me say, is something that happened that we must look to inside of Ethiopia.
Beautiful.
And it don't have nothing to do with the God of Isaac.
Yes.
The God of Jacob.
Yes.
It don't have nothing to do with that.
I'm going to go further now. I love that reasoning.
Yes.
I hear why I love it now, because I've analyzed it along those lines. But I'm going to add to it. At that era of time, we had books like the Royal Parchment Scroll of Black Supremacy, books like the Holy Pibby, books like the Promise Key, books like the Hymnal of Ethiopia, and many books written by some great black man that in that same era of time. And all of them pointed to the God of Ethiopia.
Yes.
All of them. And those were some specific brothers who born. You think them man are born?
Yes.
Who born the God of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob.
Yes.
Who born in the Bible. Because the man they lick out against any Bible
And
that
create
talk
them whole
about
thing.
curse be the children of Ham.
Yes.
Take her like Ashley Rogers, who write the Holy Pibby.
Yes.
Him said, do ever call film building church, you know?
Yes.
Him call it the Gospel.
Yes.
So do ever call it church and do ever bring that book come put on my altar, you know? Because any book where disrespect black people and talk about curse with the children of Ham,
yes.
I don't want to have nothing to do with it.
Yes.
So Garvey was in that scholastic atmosphere
Yes, yes.
where people were talking about the God of Ethiopia.
Yes.
And this is the greatness of Leonard Howell now.
Yes.
He is the one now who pointedly say the God of
definitely.
Ethiopia
Yes.
is highly Selassie.
Selassie first, yes.
But you had many great black writers around that time.
Yes, who was pointing to Ethiopia.
Definitely, the God of Ethiopia.
All right, and the next thing now, when we mentioned pan culture already. Ethiopia, the land of our fathers, the land where the gods love to be. Now, in Greek mythology, Zeus is an Ethiopian god because it is the Greeks that claim that in this land is where the gods is. And they created a mythology around this god, Zeus, Z-E-U-S, that has the resemblance of a black Ethiopian. So even from that time, the Greeks were saying, Ethiopia, the land of our fathers, the land where the gods love to be.
Yes.
You see? So we who's looking for that identity, we don't need to analyze it through when Marcus Garvey claim now, when Marcus Garvey say no. If him over there so wants to God through that, that's all.
Him free.
If him wants to God through over there so, but we can't come declare no, the God of Ethiopia and define him through Yahweh.
Yes.
Through God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Because as we go back to Tanya Stevens again, you know. We have to say we love Tanya Stevens more. Tanya Stevens say, the man in the church must know, say, it's not everybody believing that the Moses God. It's not everybody worshiping that the Moses God. And this is what we are trying to tell the people to say, watch out. Haile Selassie the first, where Rastaman declare for the past 70 or 80 odd years now over there so, can stand as what we say the Almighty by our own definition.
Yes, it don't need no crutch. And it don't need no greetings in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
What is
Who's this dear?
Yeah.
It don't need no backup.
It's like you want to say there is a higher thing in your idea than this thing. Because if you use something to define a next thing, you know, I mean, there's something where you use to define the next thing must be greater than something where you're defining.
And that becomes your thought process.
Of course.
Yes.
So it is easier to go back to the thing that you are defining the thing with than to deal with the thing that you are defining. You know, see?
Yes.
And you find that most people do that. That is why a man can come now and say he was a Rasta. Because now him used to use Jesus Christ to define Haile Selassie. And when things gone bad, him easy to go back from the crutch. That's why you see 12 tribes stayed away there. You see 12 tribes was always saying Jesus Christ.
Yes.
And he had teach them.
Yes. And they go back to it now.
Yeah,
fully.
he had teach them that Jesus Christ will come back again. So Haile Selassie have no more significance because it was the personality that was defining their mentality.
Yes.
And we are saying it's more than a personality now, it's a divinity in an individual that Marcus Garvey, whether wrongfully or rightfully, declares, say, it is beyond the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, and when say, God, Isaac, Jacob, and Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yes.
It is beyond the white man God. It is a God through Ethiopia that we declare now as Rastafari who use this black consciousness with a spiritual nucleus. Is the only black power movement that defines itself through a spiritual nucleus.
And we could carry it a little further. All of those outstanding ecumenical conferences, the Council of Chalcedon, the Council of Macedonia, so in one of these conferences, they waited more than a year for the Ethiopian delegation to arrive.
Aye.
In other words,
define the whole thing.
Definitely, whatever edict you put out, if the Ethiopians are not there,
Yes.
it has no validity.
No, because they were the first ones to
Definitely.
make it a state.
Definitely.
A state religion.
And guess what now? When the Ethiopians them arrive, the man them take a next year to find a house. Again, the conference had to wait at them.
That's a serious thing.
Definitely.
Cut it edge.
Brother Miguel,
Eyes is eye.
blessed man.
Give
Brother
time.
Mota.
Blessed man.
Yeah, man. Brother Miguel, I have to give thee thanks and praise for the eye. You see it?
Give eyes.
One month now, me I try to reach Mota, you know.
I
Why
read.
not tell me that, man?
I say, me not stop tonight.
Oh, you mean 1 month you try? So what happened? You stop paying your phone bill?
Yo, Virgin, me not going into no detail with it. You see it?
I'm a virgin, you know.
Give thanks.
I'm a
Give
virgin,
thanks.
man.
Give
Yeah.
thanks.
We're supposed to be virgin. We're supposed to be, use my teacher, use everything, but to me, sometimes you're like you're tired of me. So you
But
know
we don't know
what
who they on the phone with the back. We just press the button, you know, and the body come up, you know.
No, when me I tell you how me feel. Guy, you know why I'm not really too early to me used to feel like me I don't know nobody more time.
Ah, man, nobody get no low self-esteem, brethren.
Well, me don't want that, but I told you me feel and to Brother Miguel the on it tonight.
No, what you want know? Yes, me at the studio, yes or no?
Yeah.
Me not have somebody that tell me, say, Tony's on the line or Barry's on the line, you know. We just press the button and whosoever come up, just come up.
No problem, my father.
Yes,
no
blessed man.
problem, my teacher.
Yes.
You might have to touch on you see from last week. Me love how the eye gone from my side of thinking, you know.
All
So
right.
that talk about naturality.
Yes.
And, you know,
Life.
positivity.
Yes.
You see the trend where you depend right now?
Yes.
Me say, you come like you get a special voltage touching on your brain. Let them want to be the part.
From last week.
Yeah. Remember me tell you.
A week before you talk, man. After a week before.
Virgin, me say, me love that voltage the way I shock you.
Yes.
And I hope it keep on shocking you. When you start talking about the pumpkin and them thing there,
A week before last, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
you
matter how you look at the pumpkin and see the seed and they put the seed in the ground and it come back and it put pumpkin.
aye. Because we have to take the people them on a different level.
Mhm.
And that me tell myself that me I try on every radio program.
Yes,
Me
yes.
try bring people out of the, you know, the backward thinking. We have to go forward now for a positive thing.
All right, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
What me I say right now, they're going to share something with the item, you know. And me want the item to know, say it's a Rasta. But me love Rasta in a sense to just some simple little things. Manners. Respect. How me see them deal with each other. In a sense. You see what I say?
Yes, man.
That's why I love
B6.
Rasta.
The brother
And
said it
me
earlier on.
45
B6.
years I observe. Just press your hand on the heart and say, Anna, bless.
Yes.
These little things touch me.
Simple, man.
Me love it. Look at church and then cut there after me.
Mm.
Straight up.
Yes.
Me I observe a long time, 45 years. But I go give a little thing. I in my bus, you know, lean back one night out of my place. And I say, oh, me I go on and a quote about God and this and that. It really exists. Who I know say somebody that exists for me I really talk about, you know. And believe me, within 5 minutes, I regret I do it.
Mm.
I end up at a station that night.
Mm.
And it's one policeman saved me. He saved me at the station and he saved me from causeway coming over. That time before it turned toll road.
Yeah.
This one, I'm going to tell you, I challenge everything, but I would have never challenged that again.
Yes.
Because it's a man just appear from nowhere, you know.
Yes.
And it's one big fight. Me and that man put on. And me I tell you, me fight the man. And when me get the upper hand of him and turn up in his neck with a piece of iron, me going to say a man come from nowhere and hold me and I say, easy yourself, man. No lick him. Believe me.
Yeah, yeah.
You see, Master Father?
So let me ask you something now. Oh, you're on the toll road and make it out with your business.
Oh, me on the toll road. When you want to see me do it now,
Eh?
this is when the traffic pick up,
Yeah.
me seal the toll road. And pay the toll. And so when I come back in the night now with no traffic,
Yeah.
just no pay no toll.
Okay.
You see it? Because no matter when you know the system, you
Yeah.
don't fight the system, you try to beat the system.
All right.
You don't make the system hold you back in this time.
No, you can't do that.
You see me? But, Brother Miguel,
Give thanks, my brother.
a chance of my name, big and serious.
Give thanks.
Yeah, man, and we all have to take chance in life.
Yes.
Each and every one of us talk.
You know, the first you ever call your name on the radio. And the
Ah,
first you ever talk your name, you know. You realize that?
to you.
Yeah, that's why my program, me talk on another program.
So, then I'm either seat then.
Yeah, man. A man must declare himself. I'm proud of it, too.
Oh, you mean, let me tell you, Muta see a man tell about your name. Oh, your name is powerful.
Yes.
You see, Muta, to me, I tell him already, you know, but, sure. Me don't want him to go like, you know, want to give me my advice to, you know. Because sometimes I vex with him, you know, and I talk half the ear.
No, but you can't vex half the ear. You can't vex my ear with people, man.
You know me get it, so it's like how you declare your hand now, say, I just search for some time. But just attack.
Yeah.
Give thanks, my brother. Give thanks. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, and brother, me get strength again.
Give
And
thanks.
why if we brother can't plant everything because we have to take ourselves out of the dungeon.
Yes.
Right now, with Bob Marley said, I have one thing when he said, chances.
Yes.
He said, a long time into film don't play Bob
Chances are.
yeah.
You know, say I plan to write that tune, eh?
Alright. So
Yeah, I plan to write that tune, eh? Yeah. Yeah, a Rastafari.
I'm just putting my little piece.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
Night, I'm blessed.
Yeah,
One
man.
love, my brother.
Yes.
Black live.
Miguel.
Yes.
You have anything else you want to say? I can see my brethren that come stand up over me and all, like him when I get nervous.
Okay. The Majesty said education abroad is at best an unsatisfactory substitute for education at home. You know? So it's at best. It's always nice to at home, because at home the circumstances and so on are always good. We really give thanks to the program tonight, you know. We give thanks that we were able to reason on the Haile Selassie case versus Cable and Wireless. And we can't a little further now with the Bank of Ethiopia case versus the Bank of Egypt. For sure, the conspiracy and the robbery of taking away Ethiopia's wealth and enriching Europe and the white man.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So when we talk of reparations and so, these are aspects of specific claims that we can claim back, knowing that they deprive I and I of I and I due and wants. Devices, Rastafari is always the Almighty.
Always.
Devices.
Yeah, we say give thanks to Miguel for coming and really sitting with me. Next week, different program, we're going again about Haile Selassie. You understand? I will not tell you what we're going to talk about next week, but it's about Haile Selassie again. You understand? Because we say, when something moves, it moves. And sometimes we're on one level and sometimes we're on the next level. It's cutting edge. And this is what keep cutting edge for the past 14 years we're on the radio. You know, it's like, we just come and we just do what we do. Samantha gone home, but we want to thank Samantha, you know, she really... She have to stay with me till 2 o'clock though, trust me. She have to stay with me till 2 o'clock. I've got to talk to them about it. Because she look like she really into it. You Miguel?
Oh yes, man. I tell you, she called about 5 times while driving. And you know that try always take the St. Mary Road.
Yes.
You know, to them fix it now and thing. You have to take some...
Why would I drive this way, Rasta? But we don't know if you drive the car. I don't want to drive that way there. I mean,
very concerned.
Mr. Young, I forgot buy a helicopter, Rasta. Yeah, man, I forgot buy a helicopter here. Because them road there are some really treacherous and stressful road.
Because Monday I sat in the traffic on Mount Rasta for nearly 3 hours, you know. 2 trucks no lick up on Mount Rasta, yeah.
You can't imagine that?
Nobody can pass.
Well, yeah, about 3 weeks ago, me don't know when me down here until 2 o'clock. Decide to me I stay down here and go home. Between Faith Pen and my yard, 5 hours me take for reach home. 5 hours, I could have go and Mobi and come back and go back and Mobi.
Yes, no, the Mount Rasta thing, man. They have to widen the road, man.
Yeah, they have to do something about it.
Yeah, man.
I think Chavez are going to help them.
They carry money. Because, you see, when the year now, the 2 truck them thing now. Then, and truck kind of like car where man can push them way, you know.
No.
Then you hear the thing now, the taxi man them now, come down.
Like said, them not realize that. So if not now come from up the road, something must happen up on the road, so they can't over that side.
So when the road do clear now, you still have the problem for pass.
Me say sometimes people come out and give what they have a rat leak is a rat.
Man, them just come chuck up the thing now, so you have 2 lanes. So imagine Mount Rasta now.
Yeah.
And 2 lanes from both sides.
Yes.
So you go pass.
Me don't understand the logic. If a man then a lane and not see no car come down. No more something going up there, so if him say back up and go up and not now come, something must wrong up there, him come out of the line and go round. And when the thing never come down now, them black up. And nobody now give him pass to come back to the line to ride.
Yeah. So we have that problem there. But you know, we give thanks, man. Father make everything strength and strength. Now we give thanks to the program. As usual, it come out even better than we had planned it, you know. Yeah, man. The Father bless it, you know. And from him to that being our works can...
Go through.
We'll mark us and let history record us, you know.
Give thanks.
Eyes is eye.